But since you bring it up, let's talk about it.
Is
You
a
ever
ball
pulled up to a
ring?
fuck sesh?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
like
I've been to one.
like it doesn't really work physically for me, but there's sometimes prostate stimulators have like a fucking rubber ring you're supposed to put your nuts in. I just looked right into the camera that you're supposed to put your nuts
Like
in.
you're supposed to put your nuts in.
And it's
go
hard
on
to
and
fit
pack
your nuts in there, and once they're in there, it's like it's kind of a
Hard to get 'em
wild.
out.
Just go on and
Yeah.
pack your nuts on in there real quick for me.
It's kind of like life. Like once you put your nuts in something, it's hard to get them out.
Hey, why don't you get up on that box and pack your nuts up in there for me real quick? I'm trying to see something.
Planter style.
This is unrelated to nuts, but
How often do you have to say that? This is unrelated
every
to
day.
nuts, but
You have no idea how hard it is for me to not throw the power of 1,000 saws at you.
Wow.
Just like right off top.
With sus?
Yeah. Like I feel like that has to be the most. Is it annoying or is it like flattering or
I
like,
love it. Like I think there was
just everyone yell saw.
there was a point that I really thought it was annoying, and then I transcended it. Now I
Yeah.
just like
You were
I'm-
taking
I'm,
yourself-
like zen about it now. Like
You were
I just-
taking yourself
Yeah.
so seriously.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm more than saw, dude.
Yeah,
I'm more
just
than
gotta
saw.
roll with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I'm blessed. I feel like it's just like makes people happier.
But I
laugh,
Yeah.
get
whatever.
that because it's not really like that. It's more just like you think you're the first person.
Right.
Right.
yeah,
That's always
Yeah.
it.
yeah. They think they're so clever, man. They
Nah,
think they're so
people think they're so-
geniuses.
Nah.
I'm really
I don't know how it's stuck. Yeah, I really don't.
I'm really trying to go deep on like the Nick Colletti story because I was telling them like I've been a fan since like 2013, 14,
Okay.
like Vine
Okay.
era.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
deep.
Deep
And then
cuts.
I became close with Jeremy. You Can't Relate.
Okay, wow.
In like 2017, 2018, like I was sleeping on his parents' couch
Wow.
type shit. We actually came up with the branding and identity for this shit
That's awesome.
way back, but then it never like went through. So I
Right.
just like dug in the. But yeah, I remember. I think like some of my earliest memories of you was you went on this like little suburban tour or some shit. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, when I was
This might have been pre Wabi Woo.
Yeah.
It might have been pre Wabi Woo even. But I remember Jeremy was like a part of that, or
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's where you want to start, but that's where it starts for me.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I had like a show in a basement.
Yes,
at-
yes.
What was it, Rutgers or what's that college
It was at
College,
Rutgers?
in New Jersey?
I thought
Like,
that was in
Yeah.
like someone's house basement.
it was. No,
Oh,
it
okay, it was
definitely
outside Rutgers.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
on campus or something. But
So you were like chilling with Jeremy? I
yeah, we
guess?
had like a little show. It was like it was
Right.
cool. I mean, I feel like
Right.
that's how things like get started as far as like artists go. Like, see if you're comfortable with that, like small setting, and then
right.
which I wasn't. I was not like. I love rapping.
Right. Right.
I was like, I like rapping, but I can't do it in front of people. Like, I'm definitely shy. So,
Right.
but that, I had to learn that.
Right.
But that's kind of where it started as far as like performing goes, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. I've always had like a fear of performing, and then you kind of just got to do it, just jump in.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what happens before Vine? Like, I'm asking these questions because, like, as you can tell, I followed you for a long time, and like I know you have your podcast. What's it called
Friendship
again?
is kind.
Friendship is Kind.
Yeah.
But like beyond that kind of stuff, like I haven't really seen anyone sort of dig into the to the roots.
That's
To
true.
to the lore.
I have so many questions too. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
He hasn't screened. Like I have no idea. He could say anything.
I love that.
I could sing. I can't stop.
You got a little bit of an
Sky
idea.
But yeah, you're from PA,
Yes, sir.
from Pittsburgh or outside Pittsburgh?
No,
or?
I was born in Hawaii. I was born in Honolulu.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
damn.
Really?
Yeah, my dad was in the Navy, so
Okay.
I was born in like Pearl Harbor, or
Like during?
yeah, it was.
100.
I'm a Pearl Harbor
Damn,
baby.
that's
I have
really-
the Benjamin button.
Wow.
I have the Benjamin button.
Damn, that's really sad, man.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I wish the best for you, man.
Yeah.
That's really. Damn.
I'm getting old. But
Young.
I was born there. Then I moved.
I'm getting young.
I'm getting young. Moved to Virginia. That's where my sister was born. Then
Shit.
we moved to Pittsburgh finally.
How old were you for the Pittsburgh move?
I think I was like 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So
damn.
You
Okay.
grew up in Pittsburgh, basically.
Yeah, definitely grew up.
Okay.
3 years old, your parents just move you right into a Batman movie.
Right.
Yeah.
It was. I
Right.
mean,
Is that
couldn't
that is
ask
where
for
they
me.
shoot those movies, right? A
think-
lot of like crime movies in general,
yeah.
right?
They shot Inspector Gadget in Pittsburgh.
With Matthew
Famed
Broderick.
crime
Matthew
movie,
Broderick?
Inspector
Yeah,
Gadget.
crime
With
movie.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
I just referenced that the last episode.
That's
Yeah.
so. What is that law of like when you talk about something like it comes up again like
I don't
perpetually,
know. Fucking the Berenstein Bears thing.
I don't know about
Murphy's Law.
but I'm thinking about
I thought.
do it automatic.
Mandela
Go,
effect?
go, Gadget. That's what I'm thinking
Or
about.
what was the song you guys were singing with the episode was with Zach at the end of Freaky Friday?
Oh, you're right. You're ultimate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
dude.
good.
Yeah.
Now I got to I'm sorry. Now I got to see if I can find this music video. But y'all can continue.
Oh, the Freaky Friday shit?
No,
Or-
Go Gadget, because that is just
I saw
white boy
the
band
Matthew
comedy.
Broderick Go Gadget.
Broderick?
Matthew Broderick?
Is that
Roderick.
Hold on, is that not?
I saw the Roderick Go Gadget or Inspector Gadget.
I saw the
movie
Matthew Broderick Go Gadget and
in theaters.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Youngstown. You
Was
remember
it?
that group Youngstown?
Oh, I thought
Oh.
you meant Youngstown, Ohio, where they were filming it.
oh
Where they film all the.
I'm all geographically.
like maybe that's
Wow.
What the hell?
Yes. Staring at me, dog. What? This is all Casey energy. The blonde hair dude.
Yeah.
Y'all don't remember this?
no.
Daddy good. Did you peep that? We
I
could,
feel like that
Oh my
band
God,
made
no.
go all the-
$100,000 and they all became homeless. Like, there's no way any of them are living on
I don't
that
know
check.
who any of
That's
Right.
I don't know who any of those people are, man. I'll be honest.
What was the band called? Youngstown?
Youngstown.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Backstreet Insane.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like total pump and dump artists right
Do you
there.
know how I fucking
Just like
how I
get
had
them
this put
signed and
back?
dump them.
I'm subscribed to this YouTube channel called Analog Memories.
Oh,
Hey
wow.
guys, it's Peanut from the Movie Surfers.
Oh
Today
wow.
we're going undercover with Disney's Inspector
And I saw
Christina
this and I
Milian?
died.
When security guard John Brown accidentally winds up in the hospital, he is rebuilt.
We just, for the next hour and a half, we're just talking about Inspector Gadget.
He's kind of a menace. He's like blowing shit up.
Right.
a hot new singing group called Young.
This is the only reason why I'm pulling this up. This right
FaceTime
here.
early on.
Hey, I'm Sam. I'm Alex. I'm DC. And we're
Yeah,
Two of them are named after cities. That's crazy.
recording the song.
Sam
I
Downs.
love this. They're dancing
Why
in
are
the
they dancing
studio.
in the booth?
They're like, we can't hear. You need to stand right in front of the mic.
Right.
Came to us before this
That's
song.
the only
Just
reason. why I
imagine
wanted
playing
to
that.
do this.
Call
Imagine you play that on a stem player. You just hear windbreakers. Just
Right.
Breathing track.
It's really hard for us to sing and dance at the same time.
Yeah, it's like we got to listen to the Youngstown Masters and the Windbreaker track.
and the windbreaker choir.
Yeah,
EQ is perfect on that.
Right.
it's like when
Young-
Dre got to listen to the Marvin Gaye like master.
right.
It's like, wow, turn that up. Wow.
The Youngstown Masters.
You can hear the hair gel stem.
Exactly.
Super pumped about it.
I wonder if all three of them are alive. I really doubt it. I would bet a lot of money. At least one of them's
You're
gone.
getting so dark. You're being such a negative Nancy. You don't want to see Youngstown win. Like,
No,
you're like, they all just
Nah,
got
I wanna-
100,000 and went broke, and one of them's on heroin. I bet
that's
you.
what it feels like. Do you know how much shit they had to pump into that?
That's true.
She's like,
Disney?
nah, I want to see Youngstown dead.
Like, you got to sound like this. We're trying to mimic Exploited popular bands.
Right.
So we're gonna exploit you double that.
Oh my god.
Right. Well, it was like it was a machine.
Didn't make
though.
a dime. You know?
It was a machine.
Right.
It was like a farm. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that
Boy,
one
boy farm.
Right. Exactly.
farm.
That's a good band name, actually. Boy Farm.
That sounds like a Harmony Korine movie or something.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a tangent.
Back to the point.
Yes.
Back
Nah,
to the story of
the
Colletti.
next thing I had in my mind was like between your childhood and like Pittsburgh and all that and Vine, like were you just like recording dumb shit like with your friends and like siblings and you would just laugh, and then it was like when Vine came, it was like now I just get to dump it all on the internet type shit?
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good way to put it. I was definitely always interested in making videos. Like I just love like videos, like even like a video of like flowers or like anything. Like, I just love it. So there was always that kind of passion, and then I love making people laugh. So my friend was like, "Hey, you need to." Vine really was the starting point for like really my career, honestly, or like what I would like to refer to my career as my career. He was like, "Dude, you gotta make Vines. They're hilarious. Like they're these little videos. Like this, I think the 6 seconds was just sexy enough of a constraint. That I was like, okay, fuck it. Like I have these 6 seconds to really make something funny, and like you have to do it. Like that's all the time you have. So either figure it out or it's like. So I took it and like ran with it, dude. I was waking up and making like 3 Vines a day. Like I treated it like a real job. So
That's really interesting because I was like already doing stand up when Vine started, and I think the attitude was so hostile from stand ups to like any type of internet comedian.
Yeah, it still is,
I'm sure it still is, especially like being in a stand up space.
Yeah.
And being from that context.
Yeah.
Is it like actively hostile or
Dude,
like
there's like an elitism.
It literally
There is,
okay,
yeah.
here's the thing. I've been saying this. I'm gonna be the fucking champion for this because I think a lot of people are afraid to get into stand up for this reason. It's like, dude, we're here to make these people laugh. Like we're not here to impress each other. I don't give a fuck how long you've been doing this. Or like and it's always like, dude, I should have got on Instagram. It's like it's free, bro. You should have got on Instagram. It's like you're just shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, well I think the attitude was like that because it felt like we're coming from the position, and this is when we have no careers and no shot at a career, which is wild that we were this angry about it.
Yeah,
because we're already not getting spots at clubs, but it was like the impression was okay, people are swooping in who have like clout from somewhere else into comedy clubs and taking spots, when the reality is we're not getting those spots regardless. But like
There's also
I think that's
like,
where the hostility comes from, but I think like it's 10 years into it, I'm like, there's a whole different attitude to have,
Yeah.
Because the reality is like, it's not fuck y'all, it's fuck the clubs who are.
I have no beef with any other comedian. Like I'm always like, hey man, I know I'm new at this. I know I'm from the internet. Like any pointers you could give, I'm totally open to constructive criticism, even like negative. Just like fuck, I don't care. Like I want to be a good comedian, so like anything anyone has to say, like I'll listen.
Right.
And I'm always like, dude, let's just build. Why can't we like be friends and build together? Like,
what? And I think I bring that up because that's like what my attitude is now. And then, back then it was so just like to the point where like a lot of people refuse to get on Vine or Instagram or really engage with the shit that they know is going to improve their career just because they have this attitude.
You struck on something though, talking about the clubs though and like the infrastructure. I feel like partially it's like probably and I don't do stand up, so he's like, y'all are the experts, but but I mean I have a sense. I've been doing stuff in entertainment for some time, so I have a sense of how it goes. So I think one layer of it is probably an identity thing of like, I'm a comedian, this is my community, blah blah blah. But I think the other thing is like scarcity. It's like because you feel there's competition in these just exploitative institutions, like even like some of the legendary like legacy comedy institutions are some of the most exploitative ones, so there's this weird, both of those weird tensions going on that I think like
that's true.
you're from you came up on social media and now you're here. That's kind of just a byproduct. That's like secondary to like that shit.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a byproduct of that. That's like the roots of it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
That's exactly what I was building towards. It's like it's such a and it's not like this was so intentional to be like sinister, but it was such a like the people doing the work kind of being against each other in a way of just like we're the ones producing content regardless of where it's going or who is like responsible for giving us a platform. It's like we're the ones creating shit.
Yeah.
So we could just respect each other's artistry even if it's on different platforms and just like acknowledge just like
it's humor. It's like
it's humor.
I also think that like the people that started doing stand up the soonest on Vine were like the people that you were like, oh, you got some balls to think you can go. Do you know, like, you know, some of those big Viners,
right?
Oh, the
big
ones who
you're like,
immediately.
oh wow, you're gonna wow.
I definitely.
I think that didn't help, like the
Definitely,
certain Viners where you can tell, like, you know.
You talking about King Batch?
I'm not gonna name names.
Brett Rivera. What was his name? Was it Brett Rivera?
Yeah. Brett Rivera.
There was
and
I don't live in LA, so I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
I moved from there, so
good for
I got
fucking
the fuck
you.
out of there. Yeah.
You live in the D now?
I live in the P, Pittsburgh.
Oh,
yeah.
East Coast?
Yeah, back on the East Coast.
Oh,
this is
damn.
amazing. And this comes full circle to like this comedy conversation.
Yeah.
Because like our huge thing is like I'm trying to think of even how to start that conversation. Like,
About what our thing is? Or
well, just in the sense of like it's like there's the dinosaur fucking entertainment industry that's fucking dying right now.
Yeah.
Like it's dying, especially for fucking
I think it's dead.
It's dead, right? But
it's
especially for
Walking Dead.
comedians.
Yeah.
Like I was talking with Alex.
I mean, as somebody who's on TV and nobody ever recognizes me, I'm like, yeah, it's dead.
But I was
it's dead.
I was talking to Alex Huggins like about how the comedy feature film is completely dead.
Yeah.
It doesn't even exist anymore. And like, dog, like you, other comedians that like we're close with, like Nate Verone and Ashton Womack and fucking Jack Benzinger, like, and other people. It's like, to me, y'all are like supposed to be culturally like the Will Ferrells, the Danny, McBrides of our generation.
That's true.
Right, but there's no
Danny McBride.
but there's no infrastructure or like systems to actually let us like shine together, let everyone shine together. And then like y'all are talking about like the psychological element of what gets in between comedians. There's that too. It's like these egos and like this narcissism.
Definitely.
It's like all of that shit is like keeping us from being able to create actually amazing shit that is hilarious and that can still reach a lot of people. And like that's actually, for people who know us, like they know that's like a huge part of actually how we met and we connected. It was like through trying to start like a collective with artists where we're like, fuck this shit. Like we have the fucking World Wide Web.
Right.
We have all this technology. We have shooters. We have amazing directors. We have everything. So we can just start making stuff, invest in our own distribution, like technology, all that stuff. And then it's like, and do it in a cooperative way too. Like not this like top down, like I have the money and the connect, so I'm the boss and all of you have to listen to me, right? Type shit. Or where there's like some rich loser that just so happened to put up the bag, so now everyone has to do what
bend to their will.
Right. Right. And it's like all of us are hella connected, like have access. A lot of y'all have huge platforms. It's like there's no reason for us to just sit around and like not do that. You know what I mean?
No.
I was gonna say, I think people are waiting for that moment,
right?
But that moment's not coming. You have to go out and fucking
do it.
Yeah,
you have to do it. It like starts literally with this type of shit. Like it's not just gonna like just manifest out of nowhere.
A dream's not gonna chase you back.
Right.
If you have a dream, chase it.
Right.
A dream won't chase you back.
Right. But even like for us, like collectively,
Right.
like people might interpret that as like me, but it's like for us collectively, like
Well, I think it's hard for people to put like their pride is
Right.
will fuck you
Yeah.
up,
Right.
like seriously,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
hard to put it aside, especially a comedian. You're like, "Ugh, I'm funny, like I know it's funny, I don't need
Yeah.
help, but like it's always like. What's that Don Toliver album, Heaven or Hell? You decide. But you literally always have a choice. Like today, I met with another comedian. We had like a productive writing session.
Yeah.
But that was like, that could have been like one of two ways. Like we could have either done that or it could have been like, hey man, like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
sorry,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. No,
So-
I remember like years ago, I was running a fucking open mic in Atlanta. And I remember this dude came up to me. I don't even remember what it was. This dude came up to me just like, I'd met him maybe once. And he was just like, hey man, I just noticed you've been doing this joke that's really similar to mine. And I was just wondering, like, could you not do that tonight? And I was just like, first of all, this is my open mic. And second of all, like, what the fuck are we talking about, man?
Yeah.
Just like, do the joke. Do it as a riff on my joke. We
Right.
can build off each other.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Right.
It's a basement in Atlanta. There's somebody smoking crack next door.
Right.
Literally. Last time I went back to
You're like, look at all the funny ass shit to talk about.
Right.
Stage, right? Yeah, we're in
literally,
practice mode, yeah.
right. Literally, last time I was in Atlanta, I went to that venue and there was somebody smoking crack right outside the building. I'm just like,
casual,
this-
just a crack break.
yeah, crack break.
I get a 30-minute crack break.
Crack break,
Two
but-
15-minute crack breaks. and shit.
Crack break. Brought to you by Pepsi.
Man, if they can make a healthy crack, that would be
A
great.
healthy heroin, healthy heroin.
I actually saw something.
That's what
that-
Kratom is.
There's like a new Kratom.
I've never done it.
I haven't.
Wait,
either.
what is that? Not to deviate from what you were gonna say.
It's like a painkiller, but made out of like a plant.
Yeah.
But I guess painkillers are plants.
It like gets you fucked up apparently.
should do some tonight.
Some Kratom.
Should we do should we do some
you have to do this hand. You have to do this hand.
Where's the
side.
crane,
There's a
bro?
fucking
Where's the crate, bro?
Kratom, dude? That's crazy.
Yo,
But what were you?
God of War looking for that Kratom.
Wait, where was I going with that again?
game.
I don't remember.
Fuck.
I lose my train of thought
Crack break?
all the time. That's
Crack
why.
break.
Crack break.
Healthy
Oh,
heroin.
healthy heroin.
Oh, there's this new co-op or something that's like giving people like actual prescription. They're like, if you're gonna fucking do them, like you may as well just like do the good stuff. So they like have like pure heroin. You can like literally go and buy it from this like.
And it's a co-op.
It's like
mean,
either a co-op or like a
That's
collective.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Both of those. That's wild.
But they're like, what do you need? Like Percocet, OxyContin. Seriously, and you just
you
buy
need
it.
Honestly,
lean?
I fuck with that.
Walkie? You need
Walkie
that?
slush. that thing bleeding. I know. I wish we could erase that whole era of
What?
of TikToks. Walkie,
Which-
like the walkie slush virus. And then
Oh,
it became
yeah.
like everyone walkie slushing,
Yeah, yeah.
and that thing bleeding pee.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm
is
so
that, is
glad
that
I
like
don't know
a
what y'all are
precursor
talking
to
about.
push and pee almost?
Wait, you don't know walkie slush?
I mean,
we
I
know Walkie Slush. But,
of Walkie
oh, it's from the
Slush.
same video. He also says that in the same
That
video.
that thing bleeding pee.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not hip.
Bleeding
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
I actually heard Grimes talking.
Go ahead.
It's all right. It's okay.
You can-
It's
you can dig
all
this
right,
hole.
yeah.
Grimes was talking about something that was like out of context, but she was like, "A human brain, like if life were a video game, a simulation, if you will, like one human brain is very powerful, right? But two human brains, like collaboration, like that's when like you're like maxing out your stats, like because you have like so much more power.
And then if those two brains are high on kratom,
You have like
Even-
8 brains.
even more powerful.
It's like Limitless.
That's real
I'm
shit.
gonna reference
though.
Limitless in
That's
the
real
chat.
shit. And it's also like, to even go a little bit deeper, it's like, okay, yeah, entertainment is dead, dying, however you want to interpret it. But like this broader system is fucking corroding and collapsing too.
yeah.
So it's like we have to go into a collective sort of mindset, no matter what our context is, entertainment or whatever our
Right.
industry is, to sort of be able to weather all the shit that's gonna come, you know? But this also ties to what we were just talking about of like, you mentioned like this co-op that's giving out drugs like candy.
Do you have their app, by the way?
I need to find that video.
Right. But shit like the cooperative model, like democratic decision making, cooperative ownership, it's like one of those things where depending on what you're trying to do, it's like your involvement is almost selfish on a certain level because it benefits you, but then you're also able to help other people. Like it puts everyone in this mindset of like, yo, if I'm winning, like we're winning.
Yeah.
And then like the more you can like have that expand and grow and like and connect it, it's like what the fuck kind of right? What the fuck kind of society do you think we would fucking have?
I feel like people are afraid to be vulnerable and like be like, dude, can you like talk for like an hour because I'm having a tough time. Like that is so. I can't remember the last time anyone's done that, or like I feel like we're just so isolated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We talk about this all the time. All the time.
It's like in an entertainment context, it's like I remember when I started stand up, a dude straight up told me to my face, he was like, we're not really friends. And he said it like casual like that. I was like
you're like, thanks.
I was like, well, he was like speaking to something that's like valid, but like to say that to my face, I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Because he was speaking to like,
it's almost like he's coping though when he says that, right?
Exactly.
He is
He's
coping. Like
well, it's very,
He's
like
projecting.
right.
Yeah.
But an insecure, a deep like existential thing.
It's like
yes, we are.
Let me be.
We are now.
Let me be.
But it's like, when people will say the same fact, but it's how they respond to that information, because like that's kind of how I feel in a way, is like just because of the social relations within this context, it's like we're not really friends in a way.
Yeah.
It's like
transactional.
It's all transactional. It's like, us being on a podcast together, you have way more TikTok followers than I do. I have more Twitter followers than you do. We're trying to maybe dip into each other's worlds. We have connections that that the other person doesn't have.
Right.
Or like maybe my agent or manager can set you up with somebody, and there's always that like mental math going on in
and
your
it comes
head.
from scarcity.
It comes from fake scarcity that doesn't really like the only like the only thing your
abundance.
Yes, and like the only thing your reps really have on you is they have relationships, which you should have regardless.
Yeah.
But it's like hearing that early on in my time in entertainment, it's like it put me in this mindset of everybody's trying to abuse me or get something out of me, or vice versa. Like my relationship is necessarily that with other people. And it made it so hard over the years to like really connect with people.
Yeah, you become
like,
jaded.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hence the name.
Yeah.
Is the
name?
That's the thumbnail.
Right.
You're so right, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like even if you try to protect yourself from the abuse of the industry, you're then like receding into yourself.
Oh, right.
Like,
I've struggled with that. Like seriously, like I've had to go into like Jedi mode and fucking like go out and like breathe. Like, dude, the internet is like a scary. Fucking, like, I mean, scary. Like it's a dark place, but also just the, like. Instant gratification, instant everything. It's like it's too fast. It's not normal. Like it's not, I don't think humans were supposed to experience what the internet has to offer, because it's like you don't need anything other than food, or you can find everything you're looking for online.
Yeah.
So it's like I think people think it's bringing us together, but in a weird, fucked up way, it's actually separating us like on a huge in a huge way.
Yeah. I mean. Dog, I was writing for I've told these guys last year was probably one of the most miserable years of my life. And just when
and he was wild successful.
Yeah. It was like the most
entertainment industry,
the most success I've ever had.
Wow. And it's happening simultaneously.
Yeah. And it's like you have to like go through that struggle explaining to people like, yeah, I have money and security in that way, but also I'm isolated from I was in a hotel by myself for like 6 months, and I was just like, damn, if I just like died, nobody would notice, huh? That's crazy.
What?
Or like,
not to tangent real quick, but what hotel were you staying at during that show?
The fucking.
wasn't the Hilton on like by Hollywood Boulevard?
No, it was the Sheraton at Universal.
Oh,
okay.
So there was a theme park right there. So
I
it was
know.
like
Exactly.
it was like that weird like macabre
Right?
like
Happiness is just a
yeah.
stone's throw away.
Right. I just look out my window, I see a minion.
And you're just like,
Right.
Yeah, you probably
Close
start going
the
through some
blinds.
like straight, just mental shit,
Yeah.
like
You're really just like
being alone.
you look out the window, you're like, wow, what a beautiful sunset. You're like, no, that's a fucking minion's head.
giant, and it's like this too.
Right.
It's like peeking over. Yeah, that's just
Are they like really pushing that at Universal, like the Minion brand?
Yeah.
people just love minions.
Bro, did you
Oh.
see the Eminem the Minions
Oh, yeah.
thanking Eminem or congratulating Eminem?
The rapper.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should Google Eminem
Yeah.
Minions post because it's a sketch of him standing like this, dressed like Eminem with the hat and everything, and there's like 500 minions behind him. And it's like the minions congratulate Eminem.
That's awesome.
Like, do you know how much like Illuminati shit is behind Minions, like Pharrell and Universal and that?
We'll get to
franchise?
Pharrell later because I know you're a Star Trek,
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
and I am too. And I
Pharrell deep in the.
Well, he makes the
That turned-
Happy
that-
was a Minion.
that made him go
Oh,
fully
yeah.
be fully absorbed into the
Yeah.
machine.
Oh,
That
okay.
the success of Happy. Like,
Yeah.
Happy.
That's
is
what
a
he's
Minion
referencing,
Song,
yeah.
and then I'm trying to remember. Where it's like the sun is out.
Yeah. But Happy
That
Happy
song.
that's the switch.
And
for
now, like that new Pusha T album, apparently, like he wanted to make all of his songs sound like Happy. He wanted to make like fully like written out like type songs. And Pusha T's like, I just want like cocaine music, like we've been doing for the past 30 years.
Oh, Pharrell was pushing for the.
Yeah, he was pushing for like,
Okay.
oh, I want it to be more like. I think he's like that's his vibe now. Is like
Okay.
a human-made, happy,
Yeah.
corporate.
I love
friendly,
Pharrell-
successful.
Human made stuff.
sure.
It is dope. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
That's my favorite thing about Pharrell is that he believes in nothing. You could
Yeah.
just watch interviews of him. You're just like, this man has no opinions, and I love
I
that
wouldn't
he
say
can.
that.
He's got
I mean,
vibes.
he
He's got a lot of vibes.
I'm a Pharrell scholar, so we can get into that.
Yeah,
we can get.
I
Into
mean,
that.
I think just like maybe
I
if
have
it's recent-
I have issues. Don't you know
yeah,
me?
we've,
So
we've talked about it. I think.
Yeah.
But
but
Can I get some more water?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know if I could.
No,
stand
you
up.
can't. You can have a
you so
joint,
much.
but no water.
nah, but before
That's a page for you. You can just do that one.
before going to that though, like I wanted to I wanted to really flesh out the comedy entertainment isolation piece, because I feel like sure there's that part of it, like what you were experiencing, like actually in the moment, in the day-to-day, the logistics of your career,
Yeah.
and like interfacing with that and the psychological impact that has. But then I think there's the existential layer of it, of like, and not just career and control in that context, also just life.
Yeah.
So then so the career level, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? This isn't cool. Like, this isn't really even what I imagined I would be doing when I quote unquote made it or whatever.
Right.
And then you have this larger thing where you're like, you're looking at how shit is changing in terms of the system and entertainment and culture and like all of this shit. And you're like, fuck, do I even have something to fit into or to like
Right.
fight for creatively? Does it even fucking matter at this point?
Right.
And like, I know for me, like that's all real shit. Granted, I was never validated by the entertainment industry as it stands now, but I did shit in entertainment. I've done shit in entertainment for years. So I got some perspective on it in that way, and I could see people that were like successful on paper, had a lot of money, and completely lost, have the weirdest people around them. They're not the people around them that aren't even actually like them.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, damn, that is depressing as fuck.
No, yeah.
And there's no amount of money, there's no amount of status that could make that worth it to me. Like,
Yeah.
I have to be grounded in whatever I'm doing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and having had recent experiences in it, it's like, and seeing how I could have been that person,
Right.
and all the times that I could have been in, like I've had plenty of opportunities along the way, and just like seeing all the chances that I had, that I'm glad in retrospect that I didn't get.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, just looking back on it, I could have been such a different person,
Right.
and I could have just like really just like receded into myself and just like let all that stuff feed my ego and really like isolate myself from everybody. And it's like, thinking about it in the past year's context, it's like once you get there, you can't convince people that you're not happy in that context. You can't tell people, because everybody else, because there's like
they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
Or they think you're being a diva or dramatic or
exactly
emo or whatever.
Because they
the
think
fuck.
they think what you're saying is like, oh, they didn't bring my coffee fast enough, so it's not what you think it is.
Right.
And it's
Right.
like,
Right.
the reality is
there's
like,
a bunch of soulless people that I have
Yeah.
to work with constantly.
yeah, it's like,
Soulless companies.
Yeah,
Right,
That's why I
like
moved
the-
home. Like,
I mean,
exactly.
Yo,
That's-
can you elaborate? I want to
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
you
Yeah.
elaborate on that. I was literally right about to ask, like, because I know you did this show that Facebook was
yeah.
producing. Like you did like this LA thing.
Yeah.
I almost did one of those, so I want to talk to you about it.
Yeah, but then you started doing stand up, and so I was just wondering, like, yeah, we're rambling about all this shit, but I'm like wondering how much of it resonates with you, and like,
it's totally resonates. It I moved out there like thinking, you move out there with this dream, and I did
Right.
do a lot of what I wanted to do. Like I made
Right.
a lot of good connections, and thankfully I was able to like do my first stand up show and kind of get into that and whatever. But like you were saying, like soulless people are like, I don't know if that's too harsh of a term, maybe just like. But also at the same time, it's totally like that.
I think
is
maybe
what it
I was
is.
stressed that it's like the people up here.
Yeah.
because
it's a system.
Yeah,
It's a
right.
system.
Like-
Everyone's caught in the system, and you're just looking at who is aware and seeing this bullshit,
Right.
and who
Yeah.
isn't.
Well, I did, and I was like,
Yeah.
every second I was there, like, hurt to not be with my family. I was like, if
Right.
I'm gonna if this earth is like pretty shitty, if it is shitty, I want to be with my family. Like, I don't want
Right.
to be out here
Yeah.
and be
Right.
depressed and have it still be shitty.
Right.
Because they're like, dude, I don't know how. I mean, my past 2 years were really fucking bad too.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I was drinking way too much, drinking every
Same.
day.
And you've been through that a couple times. I remember years back you had and I remember you were vocal about it
Yeah.
too, and you kind of opened up about that.
Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to admit that. Like, I definitely struggle with alcohol and like.
We're all fucked up in here, just so you know.
Yeah,
mentally
fact.
fucked up.
But I was like, I'm literally killing myself for people who don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like I moved home. I haven't I sobered up. I surrounded myself with people that love me and who I love. Like, dude, that it sounds
It's a
so
power
cheesy,
move.
but it
Yeah.
fucking fixed. Literally,
Right,
like I'm not exaggerating. It fixed everything in the matter of like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I haven't drank. I work out every day now. Like, I feel better
Let's
about
go.
Yeah.
myself.
Right.
Like confidence, self-esteem. Like, dude, you start to like forget who you are. Like,
Right.
when
Yeah.
you're thrust into this situation. I mean, LA is just like a target to point to, but like any place in general where you're like, what am I doing trying to fit in?
yeah.
Here.
Like, why do I need to try to feel accepted
Right.
when there's already a fuckload of people who love me
Yeah.
for no matter what I do? Like, I
Right.
could tell my cousins, like, I want to, knit for the rest of my life. And they'd be like, that's cool, man. Like,
Right.
there's no pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's really interesting you say that, because like I also had the same problem, and it's like I still struggle with like whether I identify as like an alcoholic, because I never felt like a strong compulsion to do it, but I was also in contexts where
It was a habit.
it was I would just be in a place where people are like, hey, you want a shot? And I'm just like, yeah, why
Fuck
not?
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's a hard thing to say no to.
It's just,
like, just
yeah,
one shot?
yeah.
because it's a shot. Free. It's free, and we live in a world where if you turn down something free, you might not get it later.
right.
And it's like,
Easy to fold on that one.
yeah, and it's like, we pretend like everybody does all this shit by themselves, like they kick habits by themselves, and then you literally like, literally had a turn one day where it was like, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And then the bar I was going, it's like a coffee shop bar. I wasn't just hanging out in a bar at 2 p.m. But like the bar that I was going to, I just told them like, I don't think I want to drink anymore. And now they don't give me alcohol.
Good.
It's literally that.
Yeah.
You know, and I say that just to stress that like sometimes what you have to do is like let people know that you're trying to do better. And then,
dude, like accountability is huge.
Yeah. And I think that applies to everything. Even outside of like our habits or addictions.
Beyond
or
addiction.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like literally.
And find the people that will
commit
with you.
Yeah.
Again, not just on the, trying to stay sober or whatever, but it's also like your values, your principles, your ambitions, people that will actually, that maybe people who are trying to do the same thing, and who are actually putting their money where their mouth is.
Right.
My immediate question following that though was like, it makes me wonder where all of that shit puts you now, like creatively, or at least where your head has been at.
Dude,
like, even if you're just trying to figure it out, but like, what?
Yeah, I mean, fuck, I'm definitely, there was definitely like a, not rock bottom, I guess you could call it rock bottom, but just like feeling like shit about myself, and like the little amount of success that I have had, like with just like Vine and some of the viral videos, like that high, and like comparing myself to who I am now versus like that. I'm like, I'm not funny anymore. It's like being at war with yourself.
Yeah.
And then just drinking is like adding fucking like the most potent, flammable thing to like an already out of control fire.
Yeah.
So I just had to fucking just stop, and like now I'm really kind of getting my bearings back. Like it's almost been 3 months now, so I'm like getting my
that shit is so important, dog.
Clarity is like coming back, and
we're
like,
about in the same spot.
Okay, that's
like,
good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel. I always tell my mom, like, if I could go back and see that dude who I was, like, I would beat the fuck out of him. But then I'm like,
God
no, exactly. But that's what the conclusion I came to is I just needed to love myself.
Rub his back.
Yeah.
Right. Hey man, you're good.
Put down the Casamigos, dude. Come on, you're good.
Right.
Yeah.
But Tisa career. Shoulder rub. Shoulder rub.
Yo, but taking that time, you're talking about it in the context of addiction, but just even pulling away from like a shitty job or a shitty relationship to pull out and like create that. If you have a support system that can support you in that, to like pull out for a second and really reassess and recalibrate everything, that shit is, I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here in this room with y'all if I didn't do that in like 2017.
Yeah.
Me connecting with Jeremy back then, and like thankfully like his parents like letting me sleep on his couch, and like all of that whole period was like that for me. It was like, because I was teaching English out in Japan.
Wow.
And before that I was working in a retail, like high-end fashion retail, and it drove me to the point of suicide, and I was like, I got to get the fuck out of this country. And then I went to Japan, and then that was great. And I had lived there before. I went to school out there.
Oh, okay.
But to be out there and then get in this groove, and it was good, but then I was like still in an exploitative ass job, getting paid shit, and I was just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now.
Right.
Like, and I miss Tokyo like a lot. I miss living out there, but just in terms of like, just again, the existentials, like what am I doing? And I quit that job, and I just came back to the States, and I didn't have anything. I couldn't get a job. And I was just sleeping on friends' couches, friends and families' couches, and then I was staying with my parents at a certain point in time. But like during that whole time, it was like I always tell people it was like the first time I was close to actually free in my entire life.
Yeah.
No school, broke as fuck, in debt, don't have enough money to pay back the debt. So all that shit is just being deferred or whatever the fuck. And then you just have like time and like people that you love around you.
Yeah.
And then it's like I started reading and asking questions I may have been afraid to ask before about myself and about the world, and that just opened up so many like doors. I feel like, I don't know if that's what you're kind of I don't know if it's that deep for you. Right
Yeah,
I mean, the
nah.
connection I
Like,
see is
I
like
agree.
looking out for your fucking just overall health.
Yeah.
honestly.
But it's like it's easy. It's I feel like when you put it that way, it you miss out on the like the nuances of how scary that can actually be when you do it to the fullest extent.
Yeah.
You know, because when you're looking out for your mental health, it's not for me as someone who like I want to be free and like I want my friends and family to be free and I want to live in a free society. Like to me, it's deeper than, oh, I'm off the clock. I gotta relax and just put, you know, images in front of my face to distract myself and then go to sleep. Or, you know, I have this cheat day on the diet. Like, no, it's like, it's actually trying to have a clear picture of yourself in the fucking world. Actually trying to understand who am I and what am I in the world and what is the world? What is society and where am I in that? And like, what does it mean? Like, and you gotta be in a way you gotta kind of be lucky and fortunate enough to have a support system and friends to even be able to do something like that, to be able to be like, I'm gonna cut all this shit out and I'm gonna really think about what the fuck is going on right now. And
I feel like I had similar like as miserable as the past year was, and this is not when this started, but that's when it really started to like flourish. Is this past year is like as miserable as it was, I also had a lot of space to just like be by myself and just read.
because of the career context, like the context you were in, the industry.
And it was like,
as opposed to being like a workhorse, like over 40 hours a week.
Yes,
you don't even have energy to think off the clock.
Exactly. And it was like, I followed every thread of every thought that I've had over the years, and I just like positions that I had like defaulted to because I didn't know shit. You know, I just examined all of this stuff and just like, I think it really started when like a few years ago, I had another podcast that regrettably people liked that in retrospect I don't think I regret doing it, but I regret like not just knowing more. And I started to like dial back on it because I realized like, and this is what kind of bothers me about people in an entertainment context, is they don't perform every day of their life and then realize, oh, I don't know any more information. Yeah. Like people don't do, like that's my biggest issue with stand up, especially, is like people like Dave Chappelle just being like, when you do stand up, you just gotta use what you know. Yeah, it was like, no, you could learn some more stuff. You could learn some ego.
That's some ego shit.
Yeah, you know, it's living life is, I think, the most important thing a stand-up could do is like
exactly
funny things that happen. To everyone.
Right, but it's like in this context, when you're in entertainment, it's like the more you do that, the more you succeed in stand-up, the more you rise up this ladder, and the less experience you have. Really, you just have all this like entertainment context, and you're just surrounded by people who know as much as you, if not less. And as a stand-up, just like profiting off your opinion, you're around people that believe they don't know as much as you because they're hearing what you have to say all the time, and they're just like, oh, I don't know anything about that.
Right.
And so they won't check you on anything. They're like,
so true.
I was that person. I mean, I was argumentative, but for the most part, it's like everyone has their limit. I don't know if I put it to y'all this way of like how in 2017, like when I got into the deeper in the politics that I sort of have, like I had that transition of like where I went from just having a million Wikipedia tabs open to actually picking up like reading books. But I was like explaining, like I had that moment where I was just like, oh fuck, am I really gonna? All right, I gotta invest now. You know, because the shit was hitting me so hard. I was like, all right.
Because you hit a point where you're like, okay, if I'm gonna explore this thread, then the implications are so fucking huge.
It's so vast.
Right. Because like the second you unpack that, like, okay, every workplace I've ever had is exploitative. It doesn't matter how much I like my boss.
Right.
It's just, it's all okay. All right, I gotta go down that path.
Like
Okay,
what's the alternative? And then you're like,
Yeah.
am I really gonna look into governance and decision making and like
Right.
legal shit?
And now I gotta kill my heroes in my head. I gotta acknowledge the fact that like
Yeah, it does just kind of ruin everything.
you put it as seeing like seeing the Matrix binary code. Like,
right.
Yeah, that's what I said back then. Was I was like, I feel like you get to a point where you're like, oh, we're in a matrix, and then like you get to a deeper point where you're like, oh, I see how it's constructed.
Yeah.
Right.
I see the code of this shit.
Right.
Like, I see why from every angle almost.
I think that's so freeing.
This
Though,
shit
like,
is strong as hell.
right,
Like, just
acknowledging
warning you.
the. Oh, okay.
It's just, I'm just warning. you.
Acknowledging the fact that that is the way it is. I think the thing to break it though is gratitude. That's what always centers me. Like
Yeah.
if you just wake up and name like 3 things you're thankful for, like your day is like probably you have a better chance of having a good day.
I think that's a good way to
Yeah.
keep shit held together up here. Like it's a good
Right.
It is how you do that. You stay present and grateful.
Yeah.
Dude, we have all our fingers. Like
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big deal.
Just a full
Yeah.
body scan, a sensory
right,
scan.
you can walk.
That's how you just
You can hold
Listen
up.
to Yeet.
Wait, you can walk?
I can walk.
I can listen to geese.
Hold on,
people
y'all been
can't
walking this
listen to
whole
you.
time?
Literally.
Nah.
Some people
Rollerblading since you were born. I rollerblade.
I feel like that shit is real though.
Yeah.
Like you use the word grounding. I feel like that's like one part of it, but I feel like the deep digging, like the real challenge is like us figuring out how to like have better lives, like beyond the personal, like better, more than like careers or whatever, but like how to like open shit up to where every day we wake up and we're fucking happy with not just our own lives, but like the lives of our friends and our families and our communities even.
Yeah.
It's
like,
not
not
so.
having to-
It's not so on edge.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, it reminds me of this interview that, funnily enough, I'm not making this up. People are gonna laugh, but this is true shit. 21 Savage was having an interview with Double XL, and
You talking about the British dude?
yes,
I was about to say
The English.
British is Britain's favorite. British's favorite.
Right.
21.
Yeah, no, he was just talking about, it was so simple, but it was just this thing of like, and I wish I had direct quotes, but in so many words, he was just saying that he's not at peace and he's not comfortable living in a world or in communities where he knows the people around him don't have shit.
Yeah.
You know, and he made the point about like, yeah, like on an individual level of like, well, yeah, it's like more dangerous for me, literally, if I have shit and then everyone around me doesn't have shit.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I don't want to go off to just a place where everybody has shit and act like that's not going on. And for me, like, I don't know, like I feel like that's been a thing in my brain since I was a kid of like, a part of like my dread is just like waking up in a world where you feel powerless and you feel like you're in pain, everyone around you is in pain, and like, and yeah, like you appreciate the things that you do have, but there's also like an anger there, which I feel like I still have. It's like this anger because you know it didn't have to be this way.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this way, and like that. I feel like for me, that attitude cuts through with like everything. It's like with entertainment, it's in here, in community, in Brooklyn, like even on like the entertainment thing, like shit doesn't have to be this way. I'm like, we're always talking about like basically fantasizing about if we were able to collaborate with such and such person, but such and such person is like, maybe they're on some ego shit or they're caught up in the machine. They're like looking at some dumb shit that isn't even going to matter in 20 years.
Right.
And we're just like, damn, like it doesn't have to be this way. Or like, you know, somebody subjecting themselves to a fucked up, job opportunity when they actually don't have to take that path. They could go another way. But
I kind of want to speak to the gratitude thing because my attitude on it is a little bit, I think it kind of is a roundabout way of getting to the same place.
Okay.
But I feel like just the way the industry operates is like there's sort of a gratitude industrial complex, if that makes sense, where it feels like
right,
where it's like I wanna say everything that's fucked up about this, and not even like implicating any one person in it. Like it's a whole. It's a whole system. Yeah. Nobody can be. That's what it's built on. Is all these people like. You can't really point to who's responsible for how you feel or what was fucked up. And every turn you tell somebody what's going on and they're just like, you should just be grateful that you're here, man.
Right.
Just be happy.
Dude, didn't you just get that fucking Comedy Central gig, dude? What are you talking about?
I did. That's true.
It's like, and it's like, look, if I got to put it in context of like how I felt when I was a teenager. Teenage me fucking geeked right now.
Me too.
Like, so excited to be here.
Geeked. My teenage self would be so hyped over some of this shit.
That's the can we real quick? Yeah, that's one of the most fucked up things is realizing how many of those things
doesn't matter,
right?
Where you get it and you don't give a shit about like that type of stuff,
right? You just like, hurts. Damn, I'm like, fucking.
That's just the general fog over modern adult life.
Our generation,
right?
Even if you experience some success, is still that's the fucking that's truly the swampy region of this shit.
Where you get
whoa, like,
but that goes to the imagination,
this detachment.
Yeah. It's like that's you get there and you're like, I wish this had taken a little bit longer. I only planned to 30.
It's like showing up to like a city you dreamed about, but it's been like bombed out.
You're
like pulling up and it's like a bomb.
That's a beautiful analogy.
Not even that. It's like it's exactly how you imagine, but you're just like, oh, I don't think I like marble as much as I thought.
Or you go over and touch the building and it's all paper.
Yeah, it's Jerusalem syndrome. You know what that is?
No.
Jerusalem syndrome, where people like go to Jerusalem thinking it's this holy. They're like this. It's this holy place, and they get there and they're just like,
what?
This is just regular, and they just lose their mind. That's so that
paper thing you just said. Like you touch it and it's all paper. Like I feel like that is such a perfect way to describe it, because, and again, for the last 2 or however many conversations we've had, we keep coming back to this form versus content thing of like, you know, you can have the aesthetics and the look of something that is great or grand, but there's nothing behind it or like undergirding it. There's no foundation to it. And it's like the best of life comes when the form meets the content, the dope form meets the dope content. Like you actually have something to say. You actually have values and like principles. And that, to respond to what you were saying about like our generation having all of these ideas about what the future would be, or like us as creatives having ideas about what making it as an entertainer would be, and then it being shit when you get there. Like that is what drives me and pushes me on the imagination and cooperation piece now. Right. Because it's like, it's almost like having to get over a death of somebody that you love. Yeah. You have to, at a certain point, you grieve. You grieve and you let go. We could go to the analogy of a family. You know, your grandparents have passed. You know, your parents have passed, and now it's you. And you have kids. You do have kids that you have to take care of, and now it's on you. So you have to do better than how they did. You have to build on what they did, and do it better. And don't just be paper. You know, like actually, build on on something that's gonna last. Exactly.
Right.
And like when I think about
get bricked up, lay some bricks. You know.
Right. When I think about I don't know if there's a legendary director that I'm friends with, and Lily Wachowski. Wow. And you know, and I hope she wouldn't be irritated by me talking about this, but you know, we've had conversations about the Matrix films, and like, because she has politics, she has an understanding of how the industry works, obviously, but before that, her and Lana, like, they had these radical, you know, ambitions about how they were gonna make their art and how they were gonna change the industry. Right. I mean, their production company was called Anarchos, and when I was having this conversation with her, like, where she was telling me about I was telling her about this like artist collective and like what the things that we were trying to do, and she was sort of giving her sort of perspective on it, and she kind of came back with this jaded sort of perspective of like, well, yeah, we had these ambitions and these ideas, and then Warner Brothers came around, and they they made revolutionary films. They probably did. It's the most revolutionary film to be produced at that scale ever in history, in human history.
That 1999 to 03. I'm telling you, it's the craziest years in film, like modern history.
Right,
99 to 03, because you go like Matrix 1 to Return of the King.
Right, but
just think about that.
For it to have that budget and the story to have the message that it had, whatever your fucking interpretation of it was. But she was making that point of like, yeah, it got, the whole thing was just absorbed by the machine. And like my question in response to that was like, okay, but like what was the foundation? Again, coming back to the form and content thing. You had it was like you had, I didn't say it to her in these words, but it's like they had the form, but they didn't have the organization, the business structure. Right. It was just independent. Right. And that's been the shit of the last few decades, you know, like even, you know, I'm thinking about Nirvana for some reason, and like a lot of punk groups that in the early 90s, they went into they went into these big deals, and it's like, oh, they sold out, and like everyone sells out, and you got to stay indie, but it's like, yo, what was the actual structure or values of the indie of that space? Like, what did you actually build it on? And in most cases, it's the same fucked up like pyramid business model where there's a boss. It's just at a smaller scale with less money. Right. So it's like, what the fuck happens when actually legendary artists and entertainers and creators set a new foundation, and they do it very intentionally from a decision-making standpoint, business standpoint, where they're like, no, we're not gonna sell out, but beyond that, we're gonna like make this shit fun and fulfilling. And we're not gonna be greedy. We're gonna be mindful about everybody, from the fucking directors to the PAs. We're gonna be mindful about how everyone is living and try and have that like cooperative spirit about it. And like her kind of, and she agreed. She was like, yeah, that's true. Like the sentiment that I responded with. Right. But she was just like the ego, like with artists. She was just like the ego, the narcissism, the insecurity. There's so many people that they need that validation from these dying legacy institutions. You know what I mean? Like they're still obsessed with like getting that stamp from
did it.
You're right,
like
right.
Paramount,
so they can make a social media post or like take a picture with their mom and be like, I made it, or whatever. It's like these rags to riches narratives and mythologies, and it's like, what happens when we just like get over that shit?
What do you do after that?
Right, there's that too.
They say like astronauts will go to the moon, they come back to Earth, and like, what the fuck am I? what is there? They end up getting depressed because they're like, you left Earth. What the fuck else are you gonna do?
Like, who else can relate to you? Bro?
Seriously,
you can't talk to anybody
like
about
a bunch
this.
of dead people.
You know, it's like on the moon. No, I have no clue what that's like at all.
You imagine a dude that was like really fucking into the moon. He was like, you know, on the moon, it wouldn't be like this. You know,
always just shaking his head at
back
everything.
at the moon.
Yo, but
things were different.
On the moon, you could do a backflip. Even you.
It's like how comedians can only talk to comedians. It's like, I can only hang out with people who've been to the moon,
right. Everybody comes up to astronauts like, you know, I could never do what you do. I could never.
Nobody gets me like another astronaut.
Right.
Let me tell you.
I could never bounce with a freedom that I've never had on this planet before. I could never do that.
Yo, but I'm curious, like if you've sensed other creatives around you, or like your homies or in your networks, like pulling on some of these threads, or like talking about it all.
I mean, we've spoke about it, like just I feel like I attract people who kind of are very like introspective, or at least like can see the world in like a sensitive way, and not sensitive in the
no, that's a perfect way to describe it.
Just like seeing more than what is there,
right?
And I think a lot of people struggle with that, because it's coming at you from every angle. Like not like, so the structure of how everything's set up, like, I was just talking to Casey the other day, like, we're like, essentially we're, you know, you sign these deals with these people and they're taking their 10%, they're cut off your thing, and they're really not doing anything to deserve that 10%. Right. So he was talking to me about that, and like, and he struggles with all that stuff too. Just like, it's I
was gonna ask how you and Casey, for people who don't know Casey Fry, how y'all connected.
He's so we met on Vine.
It was the Vine.
It was through Vine. We met like briefly.
He was on the tail end, right? Or he was kind of bubbling at the tail end.
He was, yeah, kind of. But
the first time I ever saw him, by the way, he was just dancing like Michael Jackson.
I love, yeah.
Like
he was just dancing
by a trailer or something, like on a porch somewhere. That was the first time I ever saw him. I was like, whoa.
What is this?
Wait, like in person?
Moving crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, in person? You saw it?
No.
Okay. I was like,
just a
maniacal.
Like,
you just saw a dude.
But he, the same thing. It's like there's, you know, it's for people, like I said, like who are sensitive or at least have a grasp on the pulse of like how they feel. Like, I mean, I feel like that's huge. Like, it's definitely hard as fuck, and it's definitely, I'm thankful for it though, because it's shown me what I really appreciate, and that's just like my family and being around. Like, I know now I want to like live in Pittsburgh and just like, you know, be around family members. I don't want to be like out trying to impress people that, you know, like cars, and like I realize I really don't fucking care about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel that.
I'm super thankful for that.
Yeah.
One of the wildest experiences I've had recently is a dude. I was hanging with this comic. I won't say who it is, but we were just like out eating at this spot in Bed-Stuy, and I forget what kind of car. It wasn't a Phantom, but it was like something on
like
that.
Wraith?
It was something
Casper?
crazy. Like,
Ghost?
I don't even know, man. I'm gonna be
up in the Casper.
It was like it was like a crazy like Range Rover or some shit like that. Like one of the,
or like a G-Wagon or something.
a G-Wagon, I think. But it was like just like pearl white or some shit like a crazy. Had the stupid neon shit under at the bottom that like so definitely devalues the car.
Oh yeah, I think it's illegal too.
Yeah.
I'm riding neon. I'm riding neon.
But the shit rolled by, and he was like, he like nudged me. He was like, you know, that's gonna be you one day. You're gonna have one of these. You're gonna have one of these. That's like, he's like, that's how
you gonna be
like,
driving a tacky ass car.
Yeah, he's like, that's gonna be that's promise, right? He's like, that's a.
Are you a fortune teller?
Right.
I don't want
he's
that.
like, that's a $250,000 car. That's gonna be you one day. I'm like, bro, do you fucking? Do you
spoiler? It's like
18 feet
like
tall. Right.
Range Rover with neon.
Right. I'm like, bro, do you hate me? Are you mad at me or something? Like, what did I crazy from?
The horns like.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
Dude, like a white beater, just like,
I'm in Youngstown. You ever heard of it?
I was. Yeah. We were around for 8 months.
Yeah, I'm 40 now. We actually are Old Town these days.
Yeah, I used that $100K on this one.
Once the
spinners,
Inspector Gadget sequel got canned, we were escorted out of the record label.
Yeah, but you know, I got a pretty good relationship with Matt, so I was in Godzilla for a second.
Fuck.
I was going to be an election, but
sold out masters for Bitcoin.
Right.
Dude, I know a lot of people that bought a lot of Bitcoin or just a lot of crypto, and it's like tanking right now. The NFTs are.
It's like 200 billion just got sold off, right?
I think someone sold like a $3.5 million NFT for like, or no, like maybe like more for like $300,000.
Yeah, they took a huge L. I know what you're talking about.
Sucks.
There was a huge screenshot.
I fucking lost money on the crypt, dude.
Who would have thought Bored Apes would devalue a URL
cashing in on the crypt
of a dude with an eye patch?
Lost somebody coming to.
It's literally a fucking link.
Somebody comes in to save it. They're like,
apes or
what if
I was gifted
crypto?
3 NFTs, and no, we sold Dude as an NFT.
Oh man,
made like 10 Ethereum or something.
Holy shit!
It was actually like not a ton of money, but like that's actually a ton of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but
What's Ethereum going for these days?
I don't know. Now I'm just like
500,000.
like I don't know. It's scary.
They're all down though.
Yeah.
All the cryptos.
What are we gonna do?
Which maybe I'll buy some.
What are we gonna do about the fake money?
Maybe I will. Now they're like 25 cents a pop.
You know what I've been buying?
Like it's a gumball machine.
Get your crypto, yeah.
Get your crypto.
Dude, I invest in Pokemon cards. I don't even know if that's like a thing.
Well, nah, it's going crazy. That shit is going crazy now. For the last few years, it's just going up.
I just love Pokemon.
That
too.
and like Nintendo 64 games, like original, like old vintage video game shit. Right. All that shit.
Have you played Breath of the Wild? Zelda?
Yes, I'm replaying it on an emulator right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think I've replayed it like 30 times.
Really?
I love that
Damn.
game.
I'm on my
cook.
Oh yeah, I love this. I'm on my third playthrough right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro,
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I can't get. Guess I'm starting over.
Yeah. I just I got it on PC, so I just like.
That's awesome.
I started over, so I just turned all the mods on. Let me just get to where I was on the 60
I
or on the
want
Switch.
someone to make the what's the guy's name? Harold something Ratner from Uncut Gems skin for Shadow of the Colossus.
You were talking about that, yeah.
No, I would need that.
yeah.
I'm gonna keep
we were
until it
talking.
happens.
Shadow Colossus is the greatest video game of all time.
Oh, okay.
You said
All right,
that so matter of fact.
Yeah,
Shadow. It's the greatest video
Actually?
game of all time.
Okay, well, to be fair, there has been consensus, somewhat of a consensus on that for some years. Like there's enough people that point to that game as like.
I'm gonna have Jacob just edit in the like anime lens flare on your glasses while you explain this.
Let me explain
It's definitely like a Mona Lisa. It's like one of the works, one of the great works.
What's it called again?
Shadow of the Colossus. You should play it.
Okay.
You should 110% play it.
Is it hard?
It's really simple,
No,
actually.
no.
It's like you just run and you have to. There's a grabbing and jumping and moving mechanic, and you basically
Go in blind. Go in blind.
Yeah.
I swear to God, go in blind. That is the best thing you could do with that game.
Yeah.
Don't
Pepper
read
spray
about
yourself, pick up
it.
the
Just
PS3
go in
controller.
blind. But
It's a PS3 game.
It came
But
out
it's
on the
ported to everything. I
It
think.
came out on the PlayStation 2.
Okay.
But they've re-released it,
It's
like
on-
HD version.
I think I got it on PS5
Does it-
recently.
Hurting people? What's the game?
Kind of. It's more abstract than that.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I mean,
it's like a puzzle game. That's the best way to think
okay.
about it. It's like a puzzle
there's
game.
colossuses, there's giants that
And you have to
Colossi?
battle each of them.
you
There's
have
a
to take them all
finite
down.
amount.
There's like 15. How many are there?
I don't know
Oh,
off the top of my head.
Okay. But also no spoilers. You know, you have to figure.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
cool. I like this.
We were talking
It's a
about it.
classic. It's like
Yeah.
considered a classic.
Yeah, we were
It's-
talking about it the last recording or the one before that. I don't remember which one it was, but we were talking about it because in this movie Reign Over Me with Adam Sandler, his character is like extremely depressed and is playing that game in the
okay.
film because it's like the greatest game for like escapism. I would argue too.
Oh, okay.
So he was just coping with trauma by just cycling through that game over and over and over again.
Aesthetically, just very significant for this little.
It's like,
But he made that joke.
Okami or something. It's like one of those
is it?
extremely iconic, striking looking games.
yeah.
Yeah, but he made the joke the other week. Like, can we mod that to put Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems as the main
I mean, it would be
character?
fire.
Yeah.
We need to start reskinning shit more.
I would love.
I think there's a lot of that going on though.
That needs to be That needs
Yeah.
to be a Twitter bio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to. Let's normalize reskinning
Skinning.
stuff.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
would
they put like Shrek in Left 4 Dead and shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So like Shrek's like in the shadows, like your flashlight hits.
That's
him and shit.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I would love Danny DeVito as the Colossus.
dude.
That would
yes.
be wild.
Oh my god.
Magnum Dong. That's all he said. His character says. Magnum Dong.
got this ham. See if you can grab it.
Like Danny DeVito, like 30,000 feet tall, like a titan. That would be the
in a
greatest.
Right.
diaper.
Yeah,
Rum
it's like,
ham.
It's like a world of the game is Danny DeVito's body.
Yeah.
We need to.
Oh my god.
Danny, hit us
Danny
up.
DeVito is like the king in Katamari.
Something like that. Yeah, I haven't played that game, so I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
never.
But I know
Yo,
of.
if you
Katamari.
love Breath of the Wild
Odyssey.
though, you'll see what
You'll definitely-
this was.
It's like an open world kind of.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
has that same vibe.
It came out early 2000s.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
one
Do
maybe.
you
Yeah.
think you it'll be on the computer?
Oh, it'll be.
It's
on the
everywhere.
I
computer.
just checked on Steam.
It's
and
everywhere.
I don't know if it's on.
Do you play any shooters at all?
I like COD.
Yeah, you play a little Warzone action.
Yeah. When I go to my cousin's house. I don't have a system at my house, but I go over my cousin Ben lets me play his fucking
When I go to my
PS5.
cousin's house, I play Warzone.
I'm like, dude, you still got COD on here? And he's like,
We were talking about Nightfire, the last
so
one.
dope.
Did you play Nightfire?
I tried to find an emulator for that online. Sadly, I couldn't. For
There
If
isn't?
we could do like a 12v12
There's one for
Nightfire.
PC though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have a PC?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he's got
I think there's
He got a couple. He got a couple.
Nightfire was probably one of the coolest games I ever played.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
I love that one.
The sniper rifle.
Oh yeah, that was like. I always felt like such a loser for having a GameCube when I was a kid because like
GameCube was sick.
well because
You felt like a loser playing
because everybody in my life had
the
like a
fuck did
PlayStation
you-
or
PS2.
Xbox, so it was like
that's some
it wasn't-
that was some
no,
jock
bro,
shit. You
no,
know what
bro,
I mean?
it's not even like
Nah,
it
that
was
was some
just
jock
like,
Playing
That
a
was the jock
Wavebird GameCube Smash Melee on a Wavebird.
Come on,
That's sex right there.
Star Fox
A
Adventures,
Wavebird, right?
Star Fox Adventures. You remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know how it holds up, but
I'm a grown man now. I'm over these feelings. You don't
The
have
GameCube one.
you don't have to save me
Pikmin?
from.
I went to a birthday
Pikmin is
party
amazing.
that was like a mutual friend, like friend of a friend, Tony. Actually, it was like
Yeah.
when Melee came out, and this rich kid was there, huge like carpeted basement. Not rich kid was there; it was his home, and and they had a fucking in the main room. They had a couch and a CRT playing Melee with 4 Wavebird controllers, which is like
That's
like
even
fucking
now, it, like,
1% shit.
Bill Gates, you are.
Right.
I mean, basically.
Right.
And then, like, in another room had like, in the same room had a fucking office and like a desktop in the corner playing the Matrix online game
Yeah.
in one room, and I was like, this is the
Damn.
coolest place I've ever.
that's crazy. That's like a gaming arcade to you at that age.
Yeah.
That's essentially the
It
same
was a
thing.
sensory overload. It was like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
this is insane.
No,
Like,
bro.
I've never been to
mean,
a house this nice.
I only say that because
Please
none
shut
of
up.
my friends had GameCube, man. That's it. I was just
You
playing.
were special, man.
I was special, man.
You
I
were
was playing.
special.
I
Would you
was
ha-
playing Zoids by myself.
You had Xbox and PS2 is what you had?
I had a
played-
GameCube. My brother got a PS2.
I played a
Oh,
Godzilla fighting game on the GameCube. I don't remember the name of it.
Oh,
Godzilla
played that?
2000. I think that
Oh
was
my
what it was
God.
called. Or no, it was Godzilla versus.
Godzilla 2000 was the
You're the first
Matthew
person-
Broderick movie.
Oh, okay.
Where he
I used to play that game.
You're the first person I've met that knows that.
Me and my
yeah.
was
it
it
not-
you just tickled a weird?
Yeah.
Was it just
I didn't even remember that until you said it.
Yeah.
The guy you could dig under the thing,
Yeah.
and then there was like robot
Mothra, they had everything.
Mothra. Yeah,
King Ghidorah. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
You fought in cities like in Osaka, like you fought in different.
That was definitely a turn it off when you're losing game.
Oh yeah.
Like a fuck
fuck
you.
you, it's over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Either I guess
over.
no one won.
Yeah.
Mario Kart Double Dash, that was another fuck you.
Double Dash. Yeah.
So-
I've literally
Yeah.
broken PS4 controllers to Call of Duty before.
I love COD.
Yeah.
Oh, it was called Destroy All Monsters.
Dog, that
That's
was
the
the
one-
name in my head, and I was like,
That's
I'm
the
not
one
gonna
I
say
that's
it because
that's the one
I.
I played. I'm pulling it up. I'll skip around.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
God.
You see this? This is the benefit of the flatty right here.
Yes, dude.
This is
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That is it.
This is the cube right here.
yeah.
Oh, it is Godzilla 2000 though.
No, that's
No,
the,
I'm saying the character.
Yeah, the character.
Bro, they're squaring up.
This
Oh my God.
is fucking me up right now.
Oh,
I got good at this
I
after
do
a certain,
remember this game.
certain
How do
point
you
in time.
Megalon? Is that how you
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dot
It's so
com?
funny that
Dot com?
it's you were talking about Megalon, I think too.
Take a picture of this.
Yeah.
Nick,
That's
you were saying the
funny as
one
fuck.
that digs under. I think that's Megalon.
That's the
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what's also crazy? The fucking Lord of the Rings Two Towers game.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And you could play it in
Yeah.
co-op mode.
Bro, that
Yeah.
game was
Oh my god.
fire as hell.
Oh.
That's probably one of the best movie games ever. The Lord of the Rings one. The
Yeah.
second one.
Oh yeah.
Yo, but those games you used to be able to fucking sit with your siblings,
Cousins. Yeah.
your cousins, and
Yeah.
you're playing. It wasn't even split screen. You're sharing that. You're in the same.
You're right
scenes.
there, yeah.
I think Narnia. There was a Narnia game too that was like that I played with my brother.
Have you noticed that that's like going away? That's dying entirely.
Oh,
like couch
What do you mean
multiple-
noticed?
It's
Split
been
screen is
gone.
fucking has been gone. Like
I didn't know if that's what we
Yeah.
were building toward or whatever.
yeah, no.
but like,
I was gonna actually speak on that because, and I actually talk about this all the time. Like even at the existential level, like you were talking about us being isolated and fragmented. It's like it's a part of the capitalist system too. It's like we're gonna sell more TVs, we're gonna sell more systems. If we separate them, they have to be on their own devices. And you don't want them in the same room. That's a loss. You're gonna lose. That's one device and one TV you're losing per cooperative exchange.
How money is really what it's after.
Right. To just and I'm sure people do this now, but it's like on the fringes. But like hanging out in someone's crib and playing Mario Party on the fucking TV and like, even if it is shooters, like split screen, like.
I straight up had people over to my place to play video games a few months ago, and we straight up had.
I was at your crib. We played video games one time.
Yeah, we did. But I had like another. Was it a blast? It was amazing. Yeah. It was the most fun I've had in so long. That's awesome. But we had a whole
video games
like
are fun. You forget.
They're fun as fuck. But we had like we almost collapsed because like I forget what the game is called. It's that one. It's the one where you play as like a little pill-shaped person and you like run the little obstacle courses. I forget what it's called.
I know what you're talking about.
But like,
it's a Japanese game,
Pikmin?
right?
No, not Pikmin. It's
not a Japanese game.
I don't.
Super tough guys or some shit. It's like super soft guys or something.
Super soft guys melee.
But yes, it's like 100 people at a time.
Yeah, and you like race
little
and
guys.
Yeah.
And
they fight each other?
No,
it was a whole really
mechanic.
popular game.
You run an obstacle course and you can like grab people and drag them behind and all this shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. But like, there's no couch multiplayer. You have to play online. So you have to play one at a time. And so I'm sitting here with all my friends just like, man, I guess I go. You guys can watch a movie on my computer or something.
We can talk about Mario Party. But wait. But do y'all remember Shrek Super Party?
I was gonna say that the Shrek Brawler game. Whoa! I saw a funny ass meme that was each person was playing Puss in Boots. It was just like Puss in Boots, Puss in Boots, Puss. Like it was just the whole squad was Puss in Boots.
I'm trying to pull it up,
and it was from that game. And it's just like God, the graphics were just.
I'm just thinking about like the distinct sadness of if I had to play Def Jam Vendetta by myself, like online at home.
Oh my god! Like it's Mortal Kombat or something.
Right. You just gotta wait for an opponent, and you're just like,
but the best games, like some of those Ratchet and Clank games, had a bunch of multiplayer.
Oh yeah,
we were always playing.
You could literally like Nightfire is one of them. Like you could literally just play 4-player.
Yeah,
Lego Star Wars. That was a huge one.
You remember this shit?
Oh my god!
Oh wait, this is crazy.
This at all?
This is like a Burger King game. Shrek died. Holy shit!
Do y'all remember this?
I don't remember this.
Oh, this wasn't you.
I didn't see it. No.
It's time for Epic Battle.
This is how are you finding this?
YouTube, dude. Can you fucking believe?
YouTube. Built.
Throw your milk bottles at the other players.
Set, go.
Oh damn!
It was pretty good.
This is such a.
It was pretty good. All the Shrek heads out there.
Yeah. Shrekies.
Shrek.
Fun, man. But like
all the
creepy.
Shrekies.
Fully just like
all the Shrekies.
Yeah.
The hardcore Shrekies out there.
They know what the fuck time it is in here, man.
Fully a Mario Party clone.
Platforms like YouTube, Patreon, Spotify, they're all ass. They don't respect your privacy, they're riddled with ads, and they're completely silent and unreachable when you need help. Have you ever talked to somebody at YouTube? Think about that. I sure haven't. To top it all off, we don't control them at all, despite being the reason they exist.
So that's why we're partnering with a design and development agency called Sanctuary Computer to build our own cooperative alternatives that bring the best features of all those platforms together and that we can control together too.
We seriously got to have an exodus to some sort of digital Zion that we built ourselves. Somewhere where all of us can actually have a say over the technology that we're using to communicate with each other. For more on how you can support us all in getting off these shitty platforms, visit opencollective.com/digital Zion and tap in.
Just because these dystopian systems are eating themselves alive
doesn't mean they gotta take us with them.
I want to get a chopped cheese.
I'm not gonna lie.
Can we just establish that we're not just gonna spill out in a bunch of New York City TikTok?
Oh no. I was just about to say,
like the first time I had a chopped cheese was actually I was pretty impressed by it. I was like, I actually like this a lot.
Yeah,
I fuck with it.
I love.
I mean, he's from
just,
the
like,
Midwest, like me.
ground
He's like
beef.
probably got
Yeah.
similar taste buds.
ground
you know?
beef,
Right.
cheese, bread.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's great. It's
Yeah.
like the sandwiches here are great.
Yeah.
I love the corner
a
store
sandwich.
sandwiches.
I love a sandwich,
I love
man.
them. They're great.
I love a sandwich.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yedoye and I love the halal.
He's on this.
Love the
He's on
halal.
this role of saying the simplest things is the most profound thing.
But it's coming from me.
Right.
It's like, whoa, he likes that? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But I like that too.
Yeah, you're just like I really
Like,
love a
related.
sandwich with like 2 breads.
Like
Do you ever have a sandwich with 2 breads?
when they put it on the top.
and the bottom.
That's like a throwback. That's a throwback. That's a retro sandwich at this point.
2 breads.
For me in New York City, when you got a bacon,
They don't do that
when you got the bacon egg and cheese on a roll, a hero.
Salt, pepper, ketchup,
Oh, I
mayo
guess
on a roll.
salt,
Remember
pepper,
that
ketchup,
kid
mayo on a
who
roll.
would be like, yo, let me get a big, like that guy who had like, he was just, his vibe was crazy, that white kid who would be like,
Oh,
this
he's
is how you
telling
know
his
you're
parents to do it.
No.
Yo,
It was
Mama
like
Ak.
this really like robotic moving kind of white kid that was like, yo, let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese. And he was acting out what you would do. POV, you know.
Oh, okay.
I'll find it. You
Was
know
he
what I
from
mean?
New York City though?
I think so.
Was he
but,
just like by himself in a room? Am I making that up?
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, just.
He's
I
just
don't know.
talking in a room, which made it extra weird. He's like going through a hypothetical.
Oh, where you just buy a sandwich?
One of
Yeah.
those top 5 ways to fucking do a thing, and then he like acts them all out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Very bizarher.
Oh yeah, I do
man.
remember
I'll
that.
send
It's
it, I'll
like,
send it to everybody.
hey, yo, Ak, let me get a
I'll make
bacon,
sure
egg, and
everyone-
cheese with a little salt, pepper, ketchup, and why don't you cut the roll all the way through? None of this like halfway split shit.
Yeah, that shit where just you open the bag and it's like, oh, I
You just gotta jam
got it.
I gotta jam the meat.
I do.
back
I
in the
do
thing.
gotta say it's been very surreal to see the never to see him go global.
He's amazing.
Like
I
no,
love
but to
him.
see like suburban white kids all throughout the nation, and they're like,
Oh, yeah.
they're referencing this very for someone who's lived in New York City for some time. It's like it feels so like intimate and specific, but then to hear like everybody around the world just
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
New York
repeating
is a
that
meme
is
now, for
wild.
sure.
Yeah, it had to have been like that times a million when hip hop really fucking
Oh, yeah.
blew up. Can you
Yeah.
imagine being like a part of the hip hop community in New York City, and then fast forward 10 years and you're just seeing like Europeans with dreads,
Right.
in Kangol's breakdancing. Like,
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like that had
Right.
to have been the wildest shit. Like
Right.
you're from the Bronx,
Right.
and then you're seeing
It's
that
a global
shit.
phenomenon. You're seeing people all
Yeah.
over the world.
I mean, it's like at the time, it was like if somebody from Queens was doing the shit you're doing, it was fucking
Right.
You know,
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Like I was just watching Style Wars the other day, and it's just like, just like the amount of like laying claim to territory and all that shit that went down, and it's like I cannot imagine if there was an internet, like a fully fleshed out internet, and you saw somebody like in France doing the shit you're doing, I would be so mad. I would be so
on that
mad.
tip though, what's your Star Trek story? What's your
Wait,
like,
I gotta pee real quick.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna refill this real quick. Should we wait?
Connor and I can sit here and talk while you PCD.
So, Connor, as I
So
understand
let's talk
it,
about the Dinosaurs franchise.
Oh yeah,
Because I used to read the books of that shit. There was books.
really?
The dinosaurs, they had...
Are you sure the Jim Henson one? Or are you talking about the Disney CGI dinosaurs?
No,
You're talking about this, right?
There were book versions of that show, I think, perhaps, that I read.
This
I
is-
just remember the title so well. And there was a
Right.
movie, wasn't there?
Yeah.
You ever have those things from your childhood that feel like they were a fever dream? And like it's not until you're older you like Google like keywords to try and find something, and then you see like, oh my fucking god, that was real.
Yeah, that
The Godzilla shit.
that kind of did that.
Dinosaurs, the show was like that for me. Like it wasn't until I was like, I don't know, maybe in college or something, I was like, they were in puppet dinosaurs. I remember this weird show where they were, and then you're like, it was a real thing.
Dude, the holy grail of like trying to find that thing that I remember is that anime. I think I found parts of it or adaptations of it, but it was this animated tape that we watched in kindergarten.
I thought you said animated taint for a second. I was like, where are we going with
in
this?
kindergarten? And
Animated Gurch.
it's a close-up of a gooch fold for some reason. I just remember that. But no, it was an animated tape of a story about it was like really well done, frankly. Like, it was well written and produced, and the tone of it was like everything. And it was about a tree that's like, happy, I'm a tree. I'm like out here in the forest. And then like a Roman centurion comes by and like chops it down with an axe.
Nice.
And mind you, like, I'm in Catholic like school, and it turns into the tree, and he's like, oh, why am I'm getting chopped down. It's essentially the plot of Sausage Party. And it's like, oh, I'm fucking being turned into the cross. And then like,
whoa,
yeah, and then
what? Did not go the way I thought it was gonna go.
Slowly turns into.
Hold up,
it's a Christian.
Yeah.
Wait, how does
kindergarten?
Where's the sausage?
Yeah, wait,
party
you gotta
parallel?
finish. Yeah, what happens?
Because the cross becomes like the cross, and then the fucking vibe goes completely left. And they show the crucifixion, and they do like a close up of Jesus, and he's like, forgive them, blah blah blah. It's like really dark, and then like the sun sets, and then it's like, oh fucking, he comes out of the tomb type shit. Yeah. But it completely traumatized me. Kindergarten, we saw this.
You know, it's
like Easter.
You know what's hilarious about that? Before you finish, is there was like a big wave around that. Was that like the 90s? I think.
Yeah, I mean,
there was a big wave in the 90s where like a lot of Christian animated content was being produced by anime studios. So there's a very high probability that was made by the same people that did Akira.
Can you imagine?
Right?
Oh my god!
You're just like perfecly like hand drawn like tree turning into the cross.
The Catholic traumatized children brainwashing tape. We really wanted to.
I thought you were saying that was gonna go into like a social ecology, environmentalism thing, which funnily enough, dinosaurs did. Not to spoil anything for anyone who wants to hit dinosaurs.
I don't think the average person is going to even know where that happens.
Spoil that whole franchise.
The end of the show is literally like some dark shit. They don't end it on a good note. It's because it's the extinction of the dinosaurs, but they tie it into a commentary on the environment. Which is like crazy.
Jim Henson, man. Jim Henson.
Yeah. No, but on going back to the hip hop thing in the Star Trek, I still want to know like what your first like exposure to, I don't know if it was Pharrell or Clips or Neptunes or like Khalees, like what it was.
This is gonna sound so silly, but it's that Justin Timberlake song.
You and Casey love JT so much.
No, it's "Rock Your Body."
Yeah.
I remember hearing that song, and I had this.
Was it when it came out, or was it like later in life?
No, this is when it came out, like as a kid, and I had this Casio keyboard that like it played like a demo, but you could change the key of the demo if you pressed the certain key, so it sounded like a Pharrell beat.
Yeah.
So when I heard that song, that beat, I was like, holy shit, this sounds like something I would have made, like on the Casio. So that's like, but this is like as a kid, like, I mean, for whatever reason, I just gravitated to that, and I was like, fuck. And then I finally found out, like, later in life, like, through the internet and shit, like, who Pharrell was, and the Neptunes, and, you know, how many hits he had made.
Right.
And, it's wild how much they're responsible for, even beyond just the music. I was just thinking a couple days ago, like, damn, if they hadn't got started with Teddy Riley and all that, Pusha T might have never rapped about that sandwich.
Yeah.
He put out a whole song about the fish fillet.
Oh.
And that might have never happened without the Neptunes.
Mm-hmm. It's true. The things Pharrell is responsible for.
Yeah. Janet Jackson's City might have never came out.
Yo, but you young turd, young turd, like you made me. I don't know if you're still making music or you're still like passionate about that.
Definitely.
But did you have like a Neptune's production emulation phase? You have any like demos out there?
I still I just love Pharrell's beats, like him and Chad Hugo, like whatever they're doing it's just so cool. Like the chord progressions he picks, and like it just hits me. Like I feel his music super great. Like
you can hear his like voice in it.
Yeah, and the other person who does that is Tyler. Tyler the creator.
Well, Tyler's just emulating Neptune.
Yeah,
he's deviated away from it a little bit. But starting out, he was literally just trying to make Neptunes.
And he does it like so well. I love it. It's the same thing. It's like the chords he chooses and like his just the way he composes everything. It just like really makes me happy. I guess is a good word to use, but yeah, Pharrell's, and then just Ice Cream, BBC, like all his other shit, like the whole Babe thing
that goes so deep.
I just like am so
it changed a lot.
It's so cool. It's like I'd never seen like stuff like Babe, like the camo, like seeing red camo, like Lil Wayne wearing that red camo Babe. I was like, dude, that is so sick. Like being a like you know like
Hustler music video.
Yeah.
Nah,
full like Babe everything, and then the big Babe belt buckle.
Right.
I was like, that is so cool.
Yeah. I had a Pharrell moment today, by the way. I was listening to Good Kid by Kendrick. And it's like, mass elimination, baby, or something like that. And it was like, oh, that's Pharrell's voice. And then I like looked at the song, and it's like, oh, Pharrell produced this. Wow, his fucking second album, he's got Pharrell on it. Holy shit.
He just shows up.
Well, Pharrell was super accessible in that, like 2007, 2000, I want to say 13, 14. He was doing a lot of shit with, they were still underground artists. You know, you just going in the studio with people when they were at like Big Sean got signed to Good Music, and they weren't doing shit for him. And even in that window, he was still managing to be in the studio with Pharrell making records.
Well, they didn't they kind of go back underground in that period. It was like, I don't know, like EDM happened, and it was just like there wasn't really a place for them.
EDM did happen. I remember Skrillex.
That was a fucking. He's got a new album coming out.
I guy who's like into that music still, and I was like, bro, when Skrillex hit, that shit was hilarious. We thought dubstep was.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I love Skrillex when
dude, the Modern Warfare 2 like montages. Yes, and it's like, and then also just like Dead Mouse also won that.
Pretty Lights.
Yeah.
Yo,
Pretty Lights.
Yeah. Dude, I remember I thought it was so funny that he had a song called More Important Than Michael Jordan, and I was like, what could be more important than
Yo, but I want to share some history like on the Star Trek thing, because I feel like I don't even know if I've talked to y'all about it. I've shared bits and pieces, but like I was it must have been, so I grew up in a super religious household. And so my parents wouldn't let me listen to like non-Christian or non-Disney kiddie music or whatever.
Oh, I guess you grew up roughly in the same area too, huh? More or less. Like
no,
DMV.
No. They're Virginia Beach, so it's like it's far away.
Oh, okay.
But basically, the only time I could sort of see what music was actually hidden and out there was when I would get sick. And my parents would just leave me alone in front of the TV or whatever. Because you know, like a lot of kids, like they have the back button on the remote, like they have the whole game of like you're not gonna catch me, whatever.
Right.
Back, oh my god,
Oh back.
So I was like a sniper with that shit. I had that
like
memories are
every kid was. I'm doing back twice. I got two channels on the flip.
Fundamentalist.
Oh shit, you were rich, bro.
Fundamentalist Southern Baptist Christian household. That shit is very different. That's you got to be extra like. Because that feels like life or death as a kid. If your parent walks in and you got a music video on that where there's asses shaking or whatever it might be.
Right.
Anyways, I still remember the rotation, because I would sick. I got to the point where I was like faking sick, and I would just be in front of the TV for hours unattended, and I would just cycle through VH1, MTV, BET, and I would just cycle through just consuming all the music videos. And I remember the year had to be like 2001, 2002 or somewhere around there, because they had NERD's Rockstar.
Oh, yeah.
Grinding by Clips. And Mos Def had this record out at the time. It was this, I can't even emulate it with my mouth. But I was so captured by Pharrell as a young black kid who's only given, I mean, my dad is a musician, so, and he's like blues, jazz, like all of that. So I had by that time like an expansive understanding of black artistry and like all the different kinds of music we've contributed to and made. But in terms of like popular image at the time, it blew my mind to see this black man in one music video. He's like on some rock star shit and fucking skateboarding. Yeah. Like a nerd, like how I felt. And then he's fucking with clips on one of the hardest record. And then you're just seeing this dude and he's navigating all these environments at the same time.
I think that's what the appeal was for me.
Right. And then you're seeing him in like pop, like Britney Spears. And you're like, who the fuck is this dude? Yeah. This is the coolest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life, like as a kid.
Right.
And,
the beeper.
Right. He's like fly, and you're like, what the fuck? And then when as I got older, I started getting more access to like computers and internet. Again, my parents, they wouldn't let me have access to the World Wide Web at home, so I could only do it like at school or like if I, whatever. And it was, funnily enough, it was in the 8th grade where this kid put me on to Bape, and because he was drawing the star with the bolt on his notebook, and he was like, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, Bape, you don't know Bape? It was like that type of thing. Like, you're a lame.
Right. Is there a store here, Bape store?
In Soho.
Yeah. It was 91, 93 Green Street. I used to go there all the time. Bape is a conversation in and of itself with me. Yeah. But because I was super into the streetwear thing, really just Bape. It wasn't even like streetwear.
I had a Bape phase.
But
maxed out the cards.
Yeah. But then I go into the Bape universe, and then I'm seeing. I used to go on MTV Japan, and they had Nigo had a show called Ni Golden Eye, and they would have footage of behind the scenes with like Teriyaki Boys in the studio with like Kanye and Neptunes, and
so cool.
And that's when I started really grasping the full scope of like Pharrell's like influence, because I'm like, I had for years been getting hit just off the music thing. Now I'm like getting into streetwear fashion, and I'm seeing he's just the god there. Yeah. And then it took like the appreciation to another level. And then as I got older, that's when I was just like, I became like not at Tyler the Creator's level, but like a few notches down in terms of like the obsession. Like it was a part of like my identity. Yeah, dude. Like people in my family, my friends, they would be like, "Oh, Pharrell."
I literally wanted to be an Odd Future. Like I seriously wanted to be the whatever 9th member of Odd Future.
Yeah.
Right.
What's funny is I found out about Odd Future in high school, and I had no idea who it was. I just remember there was this sketch with Tyler and Earl where Tyler's playing this beat for Earl. He's hot ass beat, clap. Yeah, hot ass beat, clap. So hot ass beat, clap. He's like, oh shit, I didn't know you could rap. Why don't you rap something? And I had no idea who they were until like years later. I saw Loiter Squad, and my friend was like, oh yeah, that's Odd Future, and I was just like,
I watched the whole Odd Future rise in real time. Yeah, I watched the whole thing from top to bottom.
Me too.
Yeah, the first like viral YouTube videos, even before they were viral, when they were just fucking around on skateboards, and I can't remember the song. It's the one where Earl's rapping, and
it's Earl.
Yeah.
When
that's the one where he's in the like barbershop.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then,
spits his teeth out.
But then, and then Yonkers just changed everything. Yeah, it was like that was like, all right. And then ASAP Rocky comes in a few years later, and I'm like,
right.
Like, Space Goes Perp.
Yeah, Space Goes Perp. Yeah. But on the Star Trek tip,
Denzel Curry too.
Denzel Curry.
The NERD shit is like when you actually have the full grasp of the NERD shit, and then the pop shit, and then the rap shit. Like they just put exclusive audio footage on streaming services. Clips is do you know about this? The Clips is their real first album. Was it Electro Records? They cut it.
Oh yeah.
You need to listen to that shit. Is one of the most ignorant. The shit that they're saying is so villainous and dark and fucked up. They have the song Power. I'm almost tempted to play it because the beginning of the verse, you just be like, what? It's literally a song about how they want to just dominate people.
Damn.
And they're going into the nuances of it. The hook of the song is, you ain't got the power. You don't tell me it's okay. I tell you that it's okay. You ain't got the power. When I say down, nigga, lay down, nigga, stay. That's the hook of the song.
Damn.
Wow.
And then the verses just flesh that out. They flesh that sentiment out into the details.
That's just such a deeply hurt man saying
No,
that.
seriously. It was almost like they were trying to one-up every fucked up song at the time. They were like, we got to say the most reckless, dark shit possible right now.
Right.
To make people think that we are the most badass people on the planet. And it's the most toxic, patriarchal masculinity shit on wax. It has to be, because they're too specific. They're like, they're being very specific with their language and nigga, is your guns big enough? Like, it's literally like just getting to the point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like fuck all the little shit. Like, we'll just get to the philosophy of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
That reminds me of when I was a kid.
I'm sorry, and I'll end it. Malice says at one point, and I might be butchering it a little bit, he says, "This ain't about needs, it's all about greed." Verbatim.
Wow.
On that record. I'll just end it there. But I just remember that line. I'm like,
It's all about greed.
Yeah.
Right.
This isn't about needs. But to say this isn't about needs.
It's all about.
It is about greed.
Yeah.
Then 2 decades later, be like, actually, it's no malice now. I've changed.
Yeah, right.
I've
What did he
changed
change
my
his
life.
name to?
No malice.
Oh, no malice.
Yeah. He found God.
Good for him, honestly.
Right.
People change.
Well,
no,
it's legendary putting no in front of your name.
Right.
No
Big
malice.
change.
Right.
What were you gonna say though?
Oh, I was gonna say that reminds me of when I was a kid. My cousin's a rapper. I remember I don't even remember.
All of our cousins are rappers.
All of our cousins are rappers. But I remember he showed me a song, and it took me the longest time to realize what it was. It was Just Another Crazy Click by Insane by ICP and 3-6. And I just remember he didn't even play me the whole song. I just remember him hitting play and just hearing, "You hear that, slut?"
Wow.
That was me pulling this dick out your butt.
I've heard that.
That's
song.
in the middle of the song.
What song is this?
Just Another Crazy Click.
I think I've
3-6 and
I've
ICP.
definitely heard that.
You
song.
said by 3-6 Mafia and Insane Clown Posse?
Yeah.
Do you know that song?
I've never.
Bro, it took me years to find it because I had only heard that clip. I'd only heard that
Isn't
little
it crazy
soundbite.
how the internet can unlock those past
It was
treasures.
I was like, it took me like a half hour to figure out how to type.
Slurp noise.
Well, that shit is
Ping
so
pong
dark,
noise.
though. It's like when you actually go to that late 90s, early 2000s window and you listen to some of that shit, it's like, y'all really thought this was cool.
Bro.
Like, you thought, like, saying this shit was, like, cool.
Yeah.
It's like, it is wild, like, just to think about the social... All those reactionary tendencies are still existing and pervasive and whatnot, but there's at least this corner socially in the U.S. where we know, okay, that's out of pocket. Like,
Right.
That's crazy. Like, that's...
On that first Jadakiss album, I'm not going to say the name of it, but there's something Records is the name of it. And it's like, it's really fucked up.
No, Styles, the Styles P one.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's
It
the
was
one.
Styles P. Yeah, I can't even say it or play it. I literally can't.
Yeah.
It's
Wait, that one's crazy. I'm talking about
another one.
It's like it's like something Records, and it's really fucked up.
We'll say that to say that the Locks, the clips
like-
may have said that shit on exclusive audio footage, but the Locks ended up taking the top spot on the toxicity scale. They definitely hit that.
Yeah.
Because the song I'm thinking about is insane.
But folks are gonna look up what I'm talking about, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Because it's on the first Jadakiss album, I'm pretty sure,
Right.
or maybe the first Locks album. I don't know which one. But
What was
yeah,
that?
Can I crust on your
What was
leg?
that? What was that
absolutely.
Slick Rick song? He talks about treat her like a hoe till she proves that she's worth it.
you don't gotta say the lyrics, man.
No, I was.
That's not the lyric.
I'm
That's not the
joking.
lyrics.
Drake had songs like that. That's why
That
I'm
shit's
saying
just
I'm making
brutal.
that noise.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
didn't know
so.
Slick Rick was on that.
I
Usually
didn't
he's like,
either.
Gather round, children. And
I got 30 necklaces.
Right.
Yeah, it was not about needs for him. Out
Right.
there, you know?
I'm trying to claim things I haven't earned honest, man.
I just have to mention that I was listening, like his new album He always manages to say something completely whimsical and hilarious. Like,
right.
Who?
Like, Pusha T, like he said,
I thought you...
golden goose. And then he says,
the fact that those words came out of his mouth.
The golden goose.
I forgot to talk about me where I worked for Pusha T for a point in time.
And then real quick, he
I have
says,
the whole arc.
He also says, I think rap game's Dr. Seuss. Like he just
the motion that he
just Dr. Seuss. Golden goose. Like that's how I picture him saying it in the mic.
That shit is so funny.
Like, yeah, that's a good one. Let's keep that.
I feel like
golden goose.
I feel like Future does a lot of silly shit like that too. That
Future's
bar, I fucked her in the ass. I made a pee pee.
And so is Young Thug and Gunna.
You loved Doug. You've loved Doug for years. Yeah.
He's just like,
what's the one?
Also a Vine meme.
Yeah. No, you had the Vine. No. You had one where the punchline was you hit play and it's the island sounding Thuggish. I can't remember the name. It's like that's so vague and I can't.
Hookah.
Yes, it was hookah.
Baz made a hookah.
Do you remember the Vine? I can't remember. Was you in the room with the hoodie on and then you said something and then you hit play and it
probably that's
maybe that was another song.
No, that sounds exactly something I would do. Yeah,
and then you had the We Dem Boys. You had like that.
Oh yeah. I definitely love hip hop. It's my favorite genre. I love Young Thug, Future. I love listening to Future when I work out.
Yeah.
Listening to him drone in your ear.
Yeah.
As you were lifting
seriously.
weights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also just great producers. This is the big thing.
I think Southside is next to Pharrell like one of my favorite producers.
That's
I actually met him one time and that was super awkward because I was like, dude, you know when you meet someone that you like really admire? I like didn't even know what to say. I'm like, dude, I love your music is really cool. Like your art is really, really sick. And I was like, I'm sorry I'm awkward. And he's like, there's nothing awkward going on right now. And I was like, it just made it even that much more awkward. So much I was like, okay. All right.
I agree.
Yeah. But
I met Zaytoven one time.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I love Zaytoven too.
In the street. I was like coming. I think I was leaving work.
That guy can make probably like $100,000 in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like from just making a beat.
Right.
He makes beats extremely fast.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're really good. I love his like his bluesy sort of influence.
Right. Yeah, that's real shit. Are you still making music?
I love, dude. It's like a addiction. Like I just do it. Like not a bad addiction though. I love making music, but I don't put anything out right now. I think
just for yourself.
Yeah, I like just making beats. Honestly,
right?
Do you play instruments or?
I play the piano and I just drums too.
Okay.
I
just started playing bass again.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What other creative shit are you kind of thinking about? Like you're doing stand-up shit now, but I've been curious like where your head has been at with that.
Writing jokes, honestly, dude. Like I don't want to sound I guess fuck it. Like LA was like really tough living out there. I'm kind of like trying to undo all the fucking like unnecessary pain I put myself through. So I'm kind of just taking it easy on myself right now.
I love
just
that.
Like spending pretty much every day like in nature for at least an hour.
That's great.
I live huge. I live with my parents right now. Like they live really close to like a forest and like just nature. So I go out there and again just taking it easy on myself because that was tough, honestly.
I love that.
Great.
Like,
that sounds
I'll admit it was
that sounds
hard.
like my 2017.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at. Like, you know, is it really that? Are you in that? I got to pull out of this, and I don't know what's after, but I just got to stop this right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's you don't want to like blame everything on like, oh yeah, it was LA. Like I don't want to blame everything. I was definitely like not helping myself at all. Like the drinking, like I was my friend. His mom uses the analogy like drinking. It's like living life with like a weight suit on. It's like you're doing everything you would normally do, but it's just like harder.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah. I mean, it fucks up your dopamine pathways. That's your motivation right there. You know? It's like
literally.
Yeah.
That's great though. I'm honestly like happy to hear that. You know, in a weird way. Not
all
like
power moves, you know.
Yeah.
Power moves only.
Yeah.
Shout out to Power Moves Only.
Yeah.
But you get what I mean,
Dual
like at
power
the level
moves
of
only.
like you're getting in tune with yourself.
Yeah.
And like that's what has to come first. That sort of like shapes everything else. Like creatively, how you're making money, you're making a living, all of it. It informs what you do. You know?
And I think pain is the best teacher ever because if I continued to do what I was doing, like I wouldn't be doing anything and probably just die like an early death.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I was on.
Yeah.
That's what I was on straight up.
So I was like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
And I know for me, it wasn't alcohol, and I didn't know this at the time, but in retrospect, it was literally psychologically, I could not deal with having to answer to bosses.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yep.
And like my livelihood, getting paid shit, and then my livelihood being contingent on that. And that's the shit that was the shit that was making me suicidal. You know, like I came out of college, I couldn't find any good jobs, the ones that, you know, you go to get the degree for. I couldn't get even get interviews. So I ended up working in retail, and I was like, woo, I'm lucky. I get to fucking stay in New York City, like struggle city, and I get to work in fashion at the time, because I was like into fashion at the time.
Yeah.
And you're just getting paid shit, and you're dealing with the bourgeoisie. You are putting shoes on the naked, disgusting feet of like Saudi princes and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like you're like, and then you're dealing with management just watching your every move, you know, monitoring everything that you're doing.
Right.
You know, and then like going out to Japan, it wasn't as intense. I had more space because I was teaching 1-to-1 with people, but you still have that looming fear. It's like your cortisol levels stay high at this baseline high every day, and it was literally like I would literally rather die.
Yeah.
Would literally rather die than do this for the rest of my life.
Bro,
that's the pain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's such like visceral memories that are bubbling up as you say that, and just like, because I also lived in LA for a little bit. Like, we've got like the same experience, bro. That's crazy.
Nah, for real shit though, real shit. Like
awesome.
I lived over there for like a year and a half, man, and I worked. Full disclosure, I built this set.
It's awesome.
With my friend Amanda, that my friend from high school linked me with, and like I spent years thinking like I don't really know how to do carpentry. I'm just like,
you killed it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
but I spent years being like, I don't really know how to do this. You know, I just like, I don't have the experience. I was fucking a carpenter for like 5-6 years working at shops, but it's literally just that overbearing feeling of like this paternalistic shit. They won't give you any responsibilities, and when they do, it's all
no
piecemeal.
ownership.
There's you have no ownership, you have no drive to do it, and like they're giving you like tasks one at a time because they don't trust you with shit, and so you stop trusting yourself. And it's all to preserve that illusion that they're the ones that know what's going on, and they are the only ones that are capable.
Scared of progress.
Exactly, they're scared of progress, and they're scared of like their position being usurped.
Right.
As though
with that hierarchical competition thing again.
Exactly.
Like,
And it's which is wild because I've told them that I'm trying to do comedy. I have no interest in staying here long term. I'm not doing.
Yeah.
I remember like
like guys, the wood thing. It's cool, but I'm not doing
it's not for me. But like I have such distinct memories of them just like blatantly just disrespecting me, and just like I remember one time we were on set at the spot Red Studios in LA. It's like in Hollywood, and we were just striking a set, and I remember somebody from one of the studios next to us came over and was like, yo, we got a bunch of pizzas. We had too much, so if y'all want some pizza, you guys can have some. And my boss, this dude Phil, I'll say his name, I don't give a fuck you, Phil. This dude straight up, like, me standing right there, he just goes, you better give one of those pizzas to Yedoye. He's practically homeless. Wow. I'm like, bro, I only work for you. So this is your fault, dog. Maybe pay me more than $15 a fucking hour
for that social economic arrangement to be happening, and then for him to verbalize that shit to your
verbalize
face
it like it's nothing
in front of people,
like it's nothing, bro.
It's like
Suck
that
my
kind
dick.
of kind of shit. Like I can't.
Yeah, and then the second years later, I was in a fucking AT&T commercial that they happened to build the set for, and they're like,
You were like,
after disrespecting me for fucking damn near 2 years to my face, not giving me enough work, but letting me live like on a not even a subsistence income.
Yeah.
The second I show up on TV on some shit they built, they're reposting me like, look at our little protege.
that's how.
Congrats, bro. Look at it. Look at this big like, fuck y'all. Suck my dick.
A girl in high school who was a real turd to me. Once I popped off on Vine, she was like, "Hey, my friend wants a video. Can you like do that?"
Oh my god, bro. That's
You sent a Cameo link.
That's before.
Oh my god.
Same thing. It's
Yeah. I mean, that's like not nearly on par, but that Richard Pryor story. Do you know that story?
I don't.
Where fully trigger warning, we can cut this out if we want, but like when he was young, he was fully like sexually assaulted by a man who like just like forced him on him like orally. Years later, after he's blown up, he has this whole career. That dude shows up to his house with his son, with his like young son, who's like, "Yo, this is my son. He's a huge fan of yours. I was just wondering if we could get an autograph."
Wow.
And this fucking fame shit will ruin your life, your perspective on shit like that. Like people just show up again acting like nothing happened, man. Like you didn't say the shit you said to my face. Like you didn't sexually assault me, bro. Like what the fuck are people's attitudes where they can just like water under the bridge? I've decided as the aggressor in this scenario that this is water under the bridge. We can move on from this.
That's true.
Like what the fuck, man? Dog.
It's like
heavy.
dehumanizing. You're
It's
like
heavy as
you get
fuck,
dehumanized, kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And like obviously there's a class dynamic. I'm sure Richard was doing way better in his life than that man was.
Yeah. Right.
So you got to contend with that part of it too. But
And what happened to that guy
still,
when he was a kid? Probably. Who knows?
yeah, I mean it's a cycle. I'm sure some fucked up shit happened to that dude in his life. But like, god damn, that's a fucking image.
Well, yeah, it's just like I think all that shit informs fame, the scarcity thing.
Yeah.
Like people, I think like I said, like last ep, as things get more scarce, fame is going to change into more of a curse.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. Not
Yeah.
to
This
be
is what
like,
21
not to be like panicky,
No,
but like
this is what 21 Savage was talking about for his life now.
Yeah.
it's like actually it kind of sucks. Like it does. Not, I'm not saying it sucks. I'm saying it will suck.
Well, it does
to a
suck.
degree.
It's like, I mean, because that 21 Savage shit is real. It's like you are in a position where people want what you have because they think it's dope because they haven't been there before. And then the second you get there, people don't believe you when you tell them it's not worth it.
Right, because it's a cliche. It's a cliche at this point. Because you don't want this, kids. I'm telling you, this life, it's not for everybody.
It's
and
why
they like have a bag of money next to them. They're like, it's real hard.
Exactly.
It's like, who's gonna believe anything, any part of that?
Right,
you know?
exactly.
Especially when people are hungry and struggling. It's like, you're gonna tell me you got all that fucking money,
right,
and you're not happy.
Exactly.
You know,
bro, it's like living in a haunted house. It's like, you trust me, bro. It's not that great in there. It's ghosts in there.
I feel like,
but it's the same thing causing both parties pain.
It's that.
Like,
I mean, it's Paulo Freire shit. It's
What?
like,
Yeah.
it's like this whole process of oppression dehumanizes both parties. It's just
Everybody.
you're on a different. Right. Wow. It's my watch. It's my watch.
Oh, I thought you hurt your
But
hand.
no. But yeah, it's just like there's this differential where like you are dehumanized in the process of dehumanizing others,
right?
You know, or that or in the context of entertainment, that dehumanization is done for you by somebody who's even higher up here,
right,
above both of y'all. So it's just like
the workplace also like dehumanizes you because people just disappear. And so
yeah.
you're like, oh, I don't have to really stay attached to anyone I'm working with.
Exactly.
Even
really,
if you're acting though, too. Like I feel like if you're, for example, I'm thinking about this like Facebook thing you did. I'm sure it was fun or whatever. And I'm also thinking about projects you've done, shows you've been a part of.
Yeah.
And then you think about when it's over, like, what did it, besides the money, like, what did it mean? What connections am I carrying forward? Am I even gonna work with any of these people again?
Yeah.
And like, what did I mean to anybody? Or were we all just pawns being like moved around by a puppet hand to produce this thing that's gonna make money?
Right.
But it's crazy because you're an artist, so you're creating. Maybe if you're lucky, you have a friend or two that you're collaborating with.
Right.
If you're really lucky, that's like seriously if you're lucky. But then after it's done, it's like, well, what? Right.
What is the last thing?
Just like remembering how many times you've watched like a behind the scenes documentary, and if it's a cool project, people are like, "Oh, we were so lucky to do this. This is really it's amazing how this even happened." Like it's like there's this like, holy shit, you're like
they're confused.
Yeah.
Well, and it's just also like, for anything good to be greenlit is like a miracle. So like everyone works on it is like, this is really special.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Steven Spielberg just called me and I came into his office and I pitched him this, these 3 little Mickey Mouse things, and then we had Animaniacs. It was crazy.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Animaniacs.
I think Malcolm McDowell, the actor from Clockwork Orange, I remember watching something and he was like, "Yeah, I was really close to Stanley Kubrick," and then he never talked to me ever again.
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
It's like,
I used you. Right.
There's a lot of of geniuses.
Yeah.
I mean, Stanley Kubrick is a genius, but like, that's just a frequent thing. It seems
there are shitty geniuses.
Yeah, a lot of them,
especially creative.
That's
ones.
A sequel to Baby Geniuses. Shitty Geniuses.
Shitty Geniuses 3. They skipped the first 2.
Right. No, that shit is real, man. It's like, you're all you're housed under this like operation of like somebody else has organized all these relationships.
Right.
We've orchestrated all of these things for you to be in this room together. It's top down. Yeah. It's like,
it's manufactured this type of person, like this producer, assistant, like
archetype,
right.
It's only how mid werewolf transformation are you of the monster?
Yeah,
you're a monster. That's
exactly.
A monster in nature.
Exactly.
I know we all know this type of person,
and it's like, it's because there's an uncanny feeling when you talk and communicate with them, because you're like, ooh, your soul's gone.
Yeah, right.
Or it's like half you see, it's like just turned to mist.
Right.
They're like
half their body is flying into the wind, and they're like, I gotta get good. I got a gig coming up.
I mean, but for real, like you feel it. You're like, oh, your soul is like crushed or manipulated or reshaped, or it's barely
you're lying to yourself.
And,
in the mirror.
There's not
seriously.
There's an irksome like spirit change that happened has happened to you, and like that is why I think the entertainment aspect of it can be so indicative of, kind of how this shit works.
Right. It's so funny. It's like people will hear what the type of shit we're saying, and they'll agree with it like in a very like superficial way.
Right.
They won't internalize anything, but they agree with what we're saying. They hear like all these contradictions, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's true. That's true." And then a year later, fully end up like in some Hollywood shit. It's like a dude hiding a zombie bite, and you're just like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm good. Yeah, no, bro.
I'm totally fine.
No. What are you guys up to? You guys want to get a chopped cheese?
Right. Yeah.
Oh wow, McRib's back. That's awesome.
Right. Oh my god. Yeah, I know so many people.
Real. That's
It's great.
Hiding a zombie.
That's why Mulholland Drive is brilliant, because that's just like, if you just saw it for normal, like you put the They Live glasses on, you just saw Hollywood for what it is. It's like all these really just awkward, strange, bizarre, almost soulless people.
Right.
And it's like that's the class that exists as like the sort of mortar to it all. Like, of this structure is like people like that making those decisions of like, yeah, we got all these personalities together. It's like you're like an evaporating person. Like, why do you exist? You're doing this weird.
You're like Zordon.
You're at this intersection of exploitation as a middleman.
Yeah,
basically.
Right.
It's all
it's
just
like,
you're fucking
paste.
You're
literally paste.
You're Zordon sending the fucking Power Rangers out, and then you just vanish into your tube.
Well, the sad thing is, ultimately for them, it's just this never-ending. It's just another bullet list in their LinkedIn resume for another thing, and maybe it's sure there's like an ego part of it, but then also of like one day I'm gonna work my way out of this thing and I'm gonna go up a level and I won't be here anymore or whatever. Yeah. And you see some people get stuck in that for years. Yeah. Years. They're like in their 30s and their 40s. Yeah. And they're still like holding on to like, you know, they're taking on like production shit specifically, like a production coordinator or whatever. The Mill, like one of the biggest VFX studios in the world, offered me a production coordinator. I was talking to Grant about this, a production coordinator position, right before I decided I was going to go back to Japan to teach English. And I was talking to Grant about that, and he was like you dodged a bullet.
Really?
Yeah, because he's like that. They get you with that coordinator thing, production coordinator. You're not a PA. You're not a production assistant. You're a coordinator.
Right.
And it obfuscates all the fucking horrible exploitative shit that they are going to put you through. And I remember in the Skype calls that I was having with them, they kept like softly alluding to that. Like, you're going to have to sometimes go a little long. But they're making it as like it's a footnote, as if it's not the main fucking big fucking deal for the position. Well, I'm just letting you know we do go hard. He was literally saying it like just in that same cadence of he said all the other like cool shit about the position and then kind of just like, but we do go long hours.
I had an interview recently where like they said we expect you to be excellent.
What? That's awesome.
Like,
that's actually awesome.
Like, we expect you to be excellent.
It's hilarious.
Why would you?
Oh, well, I'll be excellent.
All right.
Like, you got it.
Okay.
Will I have health insurance in exchange for excellence?
Right. Yeah. Do you want to live? Then
Sure.
That sounds so like predatory.
Wait, so how do you break out?
You're saying how do we break out of?
So what's the alternative to like working for the structure? Like how do you like live free?
From my standpoint, I guess they can speak for themselves, even though I know we're in alignment on a lot of it, but like to be very concrete about it, because I could get abstract and philosophical about it, but to be concrete, I literally think it's people, no matter what the context, using the time that they have outside of whatever they got to do to pay the bills, or even if you're not working, especially if you're not working, find the time to gather with other people who share similar desires or needs and basically work together to build up the resources and the organization to create something that's self-sustaining, like for themselves and ideally like people in their community, like around them.
Oh, okay.
So like to be like even more concrete and direct, the three of us have been doing shit in entertainment for years in one way or another. Even Connor, before the TikTok stuff, was doing stuff in entertainment. He was working for Absolutely in LA, and that was weird. He could talk about that.
Oh, that's you worked for that?
Yeah.
We could talk about that. Yeah. It's a conversation in and of itself. Maybe we can talk about that after my little spiel. But we have experience like working in the thing. We're also like creatives, and since we were kids, we've wanted to create and like connect with other people through creating. So for us, it means like finding other dope creatives, like truly dope creatives, like exceptionally dope creatives, and like coming together to basically build trust, build like relationships, and then share our resources, share our connections to basically start setting up our own cooperative business institutions in the context of entertainment, which is what we're already starting to do. With the end goal of like, we have a cooperative like entertainment ecosystem where we're producing shit that we want to produce that is actually dope. We're collaborating with the dopest people that maybe haven't been validated by the dinosaur industry yet. And we've also developed the technology to where we control our own distribution, and then we can use whatever excess resources, capital, to beyond just internally, like looking out for everyone who's doing the labor and like giving people the opportunity, everyone getting a say, everyone having a vote, being able to serve the communities outside of ours.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to the point where we can fucking buy land and buy property, and then we decommodify it. We make it.
It's awesome.
You know, so. Yeah. But I feel like that's like again going back to that thing where it's like it could be selfish, like it works out for you, but it works out for the collective.
Yeah.
Right.
Too, like that's what I feel like the sweet spot is, and like up until now, like under our current systems, the path has been get lucky, get on, be in a big project, make a lot of money, and then you just virtue signal that you're donating to a charity time until you die, and then you get all these awards or whatever. And I feel like a lot of creatives like that are our age and our generation, like we know that this whole fucking everything is collapsing. So everyone knows, all right, like that shit isn't gonna work. Like that shit is not, like that isn't it. Like whatever that is, that isn't even relevant anymore. Yeah. Like, so that puts me in that mindset of like, all right, well, you're saying like I get to work with people that I'm a fan of and that are dope, touch people, move people, bring people joy, make enough money to where I can be financially secure with other people, and then have bread on top of that to not just to throw out like charity, but to actually
enrich.
To help other people do the same shit. To literally help other people not have bosses or landlords or whatever.
Yeah,
like
that's so crazy that you're saying that. That's like my ultimate goal too, just create like somewhere where my family can just live and my family's family and just like enrich. And like, because I mean,
that's why I'm glad you're here, Nick. Real shit.
Thank you, man.
Real shit.
I'm really big into the abundance thing, and I always say that I have more than I need. So it's like, even ideas, it's like, okay, that company took this idea from me. This person took this idea from me. It's like I am so confident in my ability to create more,
to generate
newer, cooler shit. So I'm like, you can take fucking anything you want. Like I don't care,
dude. And I'm not gonna rant. I want to let y'all talk in response to that. But I just want to say, like, as creatives, that is our trade.
Same shit I was about to say.
It's just endless.
Yeah.
That's why we're in such a special fucking position, dude. Like to actually do this shit more than a lot of other people. Yeah. Because we're living off of our fucking goofiness and our ideas and inspiring people. Yeah. And that's like a lot of people can't do that. They're not in a position. It's like I feel like we have to use our special talents to like help other people in that way.
Definitely.
You know?
Right.
And if I didn't mean
no, go for it.
If anything, it's like I remember like the kid. Like if I could like show myself who I am now to like the kid in me, like being like, dude, like you don't have to worry about being different or being misunderstood. Like it's all gonna work out. Like you have a bigger job to do.
Right.
Like you're here for like a specific reason. So I think if anything, I just do it like. I do it for the kids, man. No, but like to be like a role model for like a kid, like I always think like to the people that I looked up to as a kid, like it's like it can really make or break you, like
but that's like a generational thing. What are they getting? What are they being left with in this fucking world? Right. What are we leaving them with? Like going back to the community and abundance thing, like if you set shit up to that level, that level of infrastructure, like communities, economies, and you create like it's deeper than like a business or money exchanging or land. It's like social relations. It's how we relate.
Trust,
how we relate to each other in community. If you can actually set that shit up, that's something that can sustain generations of children in a place, you know, and make it so they're born into an environment where they don't have to worry about the shit that we had to worry about, no matter what. No matter what, they're not gonna grow up in an environment where they have people looming over them saying, you gotta fucking get a degree and you gotta get out, get your ass out of the house and get a job. They're not gonna have those values.
And if you want to be creative, you gotta lease out your creativity to some corporation for the rest of your life. I hit 30 and I realized like we had been talking about it years before that, but like I hit 30 and I really hit a wall where I was like, damn, is this how it is? Is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
You kind of see what people expect you to do. And like, I told my reps, I don't want to do ads. I don't want to do commercials anymore. Mm-hmm. And then you get past that, and why not?
Why not?
You don't want to make.
You wanted to do.
You don't want to make. I thought you loved Tide. I thought you loved Tide. That was like the first thing I noticed about you is you love Tide.
I just gotta say, AT&T was really nice to you, and I don't think they'd really appreciate the attitude that you're having about it that you just got.
It's so crazy.
Yo, man, it's like you can only be mean to a corporation if you're like flip-flopping to another corporation, like the fucking Sprint Verizon dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yo, I gotta say,
that is funny.
That guy said, "Fuck everybody."
Right.
not to get like too sentimental, but like it's dope that to see that you're kind of like your mind has been like in the same places like that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Like you admire someone, you know what this is like. You admire someone from afar for a long time, and you don't really know, what they're like or where their head is at. Mm-hmm. And especially with us, we're also deeply introspective people.
Yeah.
So we're used to like bringing shit like this up, and then people kind of just being like, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and so it's like I'm just saying like I love you even more to know that like we've been able. This is like our first time meeting you, and we're just able to talk about some real shit that like maybe it's uncomfortable for some people. Like this is like life.
Yeah. Well, like you were saying, like I think, it's like it's when are we gonna get to the point where everything's chill? Like, why does it have a question of an era? Like
question of an era.
Why can't we have that now? Like, it's definitely possible that we can all just be living in harmony. Like, I firmly believe that's possible. Like, there's gonna be a couple stinkers and like outliers, but like, I think most people just want to get along with each other. So I think that is possible. Yeah, but it's like when
it's wild because the people
starts
that
with us, man. Not to be corny, but
no,
it's weird. Who else is gonna?
These conversations is what's because then you like wake up. You're like, wait, why the fuck aren't we doing that already?
And I'm like, especially like for real, like moved that you were like, no, but what is the alternative? Like you're like, well, what do we do?
Yeah.
And I'm moved because like that's like.
Some people don't even ask that.
They don't ask that, and it shows that you get it. Like you fucking get what we're saying. Like
it's not even that most people don't ask that. It's that when they do ask that, they're like, "Okay, so what's your fucking solution then? What do you got?"
Yeah.
Well, but
what do you got?
But you were also asking it in a specific context. I feel like too, and it's like it signals that like. Yeah, there are particulars about organization and like business and like decision making, legal shit that we could literally for hours on end go into
all the like nuts and bolts of it.
But like that first urge and instinct to be like, okay, well, what is it though? Like, and what does that shape and form? Like, what does that ultimately amount to? How is it going to be different than this shitty thing that we're dealing with now? Like, that's just dope to hear from Nick Colletti. Dude. seriously, man.
I appreciate it. Well, I think about this stuff and like I seriously am really all the stuff you're saying is really like definitely hitting some major chords.
I'm fucking glad you're on the fucking East Coast, dude.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's crazy,
not
man.
You realize that, and that's
fresh air,
really tight.
Yeah,
it's tight.
I love it, man. I love nature so much. That's the other thing.
1 hour of nature a day.
Decided.
Tell me when you started fucking doing that, dude. That's extremely healthy to spend an hour, at least an hour.
I'm always out in the woods. Like I'm a fucking hillbilly. I have these big ass like rain boots. I just put my camo short, my pants on, and then my boots, and then I'll go out in the woods. I'll make a fire. I'll just sit there, like fuck around, just be alone. I love birds. I like to.
It's real.
I love to look for birds.
My mom
and
loves birds.
Yeah, I like hunting for mushrooms. Like with my cousins, we go out.
I saw you post some mushrooms on your Twitter.
We go out in the forest and look for these like mushrooms and just like hang out and.
Dude, I'm so happy for you, man. Like for real, because
really
like everything
dope.
you're saying is, your instincts are. Me personally, I feel like your instincts are like this is where all of us should be. I feel like as this shit is crumbling, like we have to get in touch with each other and like get in touch with the earth, because we're a part of the earth.
Seriously.
Like human nature, non-human nature, like it's all interconnected. Like we're a part of nature, and it's like even here living in New York City, it's just, it's like not to say that you can't find because this is a part of nature. Even the city is technically nature, but to be with like around organic life and like and be in tune with that, is like so huge. But like, I just feel like this conversation is like one of many more that I hope we can have.
It's great.
Because that's really, I mean, if you look around at the set, like that's what we're trying to get at.
Yeah.
Like
of the set, you killed it.
Oh, thank you, man. I didn't do the Amanda did most of the plaster.
Oh, okay.
But
to be even more direct.
Oh, watch your head. Your NZ shot.
This and the it's like, what? Dude? What the fuck are you
good. You're good.
That weed is strong.
It is. But even the jaded piece and like connecting to that, it's like you have to like be jaded first. Like you have to understand how fucked this shit is first to even start like wrestling with some of these ideas. I feel like, or to feel the urge to kind of move on it.
Think different.
Yeah.
Like, what's the inverse?
Right.
It is really interesting because like you have so many thoughts that are aligned with what we're talking about, and then you just respond to what everybody else is saying, and you're just like, okay, everybody's aware of this problem, but nobody seems to be doing anything about it.
So deep down it's fucked up.
Right.
Everyone's
exactly.
like, what are you gonna do about it?
Right. It's like I've never felt as little tension, like cognitive dissonance in my life as I do now.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah,
it's like
clarity.
Everything, just clarity.
Serious clarity.
But on the jaded piece specifically too, it's like a lot of people, if they're not starting at that low, dark, real place, most of the time they're gonna be selling you bullshit. Or they're probably like very. We're all naive to a certain degree. You have to be naive to try new shit and do whatever. But
nah, dude, I'm smart.
They're extremely like, they're not thinking critically usually with the ideas that they're presenting. Whereas like when I connect with people that are like, yeah, this is fucked, and like they're almost, it's like teetering between nihilistic and existentialist. Like those are the people where if they are trying some shit, they know they have limited time. So they're like, I'm thinking very critically about this and I'm going to make sure that this is done correctly, or I don't want to do it at all, because that's what it making a difference is what matters to me. It being different is what matters to me.
I think everything should be approached that way, because it's like, why the fuck are you going to waste your time doing some half-ass shit when literally, if you really understand how little or like how much time you think you have but you really don't, like shit, if you really sit and like think about that, shit starts to like sink in. Like you're not going to be here forever.
Right.
So it's like, let's make a difference. Let's like let's turn up now.
Let's turn up now.
The shit we always say is like trying to live as if we're already free.
That's great.
But without fucking people over, because some people do that. They say like, they'll say the same thing, live as if you're already free, but they're a fucking landlord or like they're a boss.
They're just
like
rich as fuck.
Yeah, they're rich as fuck. So they're
like, I got my freedom.
Right.
Yeah, but like
last night was a movie, bro.
We're talking about like
American History X.
We're talking American History X, not Project X. We curb stomping people out here, man. That just threw off my train of thought completely. But yeah. I don't even know. I had a point that I was gonna make.
I'm so sorry.
I'm literally seeing curb stomps in my head now.
Like, last night was a movie. It was Goof Troop.
Goof Troop. Oh yeah, no, I know what I was saying. I was making the point about. It's not this individualistic thing of fuck everyone else, get money, live your life. It's like, it's not that. It's like opening up space where I can live my life, but that is connected to other people.
You can too.
Lives. It's literally, it's connected. It's connected. Both of us, being at peace and both of us thriving and like doing dope shit. It's like it's connected, and it's not just my gang, like my clique, you know, like the crew, whatever the fuck. It goes beyond that. Like it starts there, but it goes beyond. It's like trying to make that infectious with everyone, you know, like
it's the Ohana, the family.
Right. In the biggest like humanistic sense.
Well, that's a huge thing in Hawaii, like very like much family oriented. Like
I forgot
families.
you said you were born in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I was going
See,
straight
I'm
to
not Hawaiian
I went
at all.
straight to Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm glad you're saying that too, because it is an ancient thing that that we're talking about.
Yeah, it is.
We've just been thrown. We've gotten stuck. Like we're thrown off course and like stuck in this.
Well, I mean,
virus.
Hawaii is a perfect example of that. America totally just
It's a whole
said,
colony.
fuck y'all, like this is ours now.
Yeah.
And completely like
as America
modernize exactly, but like modernize the islands. And I mean, I was born there because the Navy made it a base, and like they were just living as Hawaiians without us there before we came, and now it's like there's Sephora.
Yeah, you're gonna do shit our way now,
right? And
you're gonna be trapped in the pyramid now,
right? It's like,
and I'm sure
it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you grew up in Hawaii, you'd still see the cooperation and the community through the cracks and crevices of like whatever the fuck that is.
Right.
The family aspect is huge there.
Yeah.
Connor, you look like you just look like
my eyes look so high when I'm high.
See, but this is almost worse than the second episode when you smoke. You look even more just like
this shit is strong, bro.
Do I look high?
No, you look straight. But here's my question for both of y'all: Are y'all like tired?
Kinda.
Because he said he said he wasn't tired from the. You might be hungry because you were asking about that chopped cheese. We're definitely gonna grub.
Should we grub after?
Oh, we absolutely should.
Yeah.
Grubbleton?
That sounds like a canceled like PBS kids show.
Grubbletons.
Oh my god! It's so funny that you said that because I like making up silly little words.
We know. At least I do.
Grubbleton?
No, Scott and Yoden.
I love that.
Scott and Yoden was like the first when I heard that it almost felt like I already knew it. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Sometimes
I
people
have
make
a
shit up.
theory that like the weird words that I say are like actually like aliens talking through me.
Hold on 1 second.
Good.
Do you know how long that was?
That was like 10 seconds.
10 seconds? Not bad.
Yeah, I noticed.
We were talking about Grubbletons.
Yeah.
You were talking about you have a theory about made up words because I was saying that.
I feel like made up words are aliens.
Yeah.
My friend Max and Tony and I, we do this podcast Woke and Book, and we make up a lot of words, and one of the words is Gripple Stevens. And we have a whole universe.
Gripple Stevens?
Yeah, we have this joke where we like, what if The Rock was named Dwayne the Bone Johnson? and the joke is that he's just made out of one huge bone, and there's nothing inside. And
it just moves like silent.
Yeah, like
just
like his whole hair and face and eyes and nose are just one bone or just a bone. He's made out of bone.
Right.
It's like, hi, I'm Dwayne the Bone Johnson, and that's like these are characters we come up with in the we call it the Gripple Stevens verse. We're trying to create like a story or a comic about this.
I love that.
Scott Jim is another one that's basically
Scott Jim.
That's what we call Jason Bateman. It's just, hi, I'm Scott Jim. Like, that's just the joke.
I think he's good.
Because he's on, I don't know if you've ever seen Ozark.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's always like, hi, honey, kids, hi. Like,
yeah, he has a
Jason
very unique way of acting.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Christian Bale?
Jason Bateman.
I love Jason Bates. Jay Bates.
Arrested Develops.
Arrested Develops.
Development. I didn't even, honestly, I did not even mean to say that.
Ardev?
To be honest.
Ardev?
You know who else does that? Danny Lopriore. He does that a lot.
I was going to meet up with him today. I don't know if we still are.
We good on the... Yeah. Oh, okay.
Are you peeing?
Yeah. Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to refill this.
Do it.
Arrest. Develops. Nah, that's like a bastardization. That's like the worst.
Bro, I'm telling you, this was a $40 eighth, and I'm like destroyed off this. And I bought it out of a blacked out school bus on Wyckoff. Like, literally.
Wait, don't drop addresses and shit.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. Wyckoff's a big street, man. You never know, and it's a legitimate business. You know, this
right?
Is,
okay.
This is CBD I'm smoking right now. You know, this isn't weed.
Y'all have a Delta 8 connection, no?
I love Delta 8.
Connor has.
I was raving about him, but about Delta 8 to him.
But you have a new perspective on, right?
You just smoke.
I just realized weed
right?
makes me panic every time I smoke it now. But I'm just like used to that now, and isn't
that crazy?
Because I just like weed that much. I guess.
It. Let's.
Yeah.
I hate that, and I don't want to do it anymore. But I love smoking pot.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
I don't like being scared and thinking about stupid paranoid, crazy.
Yeah,
shit.
it's like.
But I also love being high, though.
Yeah.
Can you more like specifically break up and explain the sensations that are happening concurrently?
Severe anxiety.
So you're saying severe anxiety and like paranoia on one hand, but what is the good shit that is like making you come back to it? Like what?
Cool Snapchat stories.
It's sensory stuff. Like you're processing it.
I think it also just, if for me, I've got like a hyperactive mind or like ADHD or whatever, and it kind of slows it down or it fixates on one thing at a time, or it just does something that I guess I really like. I guess because I do it so much. But yeah, I've gotten to a point where it's like I discovered that in the drug. I'd been doing it for years, and then that became a thing, and it was just like, oh, at first I thought it was like whatever, and now I realize it's just a part of my reaction to the drug, because my theory is like you just get older and you get more anxiety because you're just like more existentially firm, like you're
there's
you're
environmental
solid, you're like just aware and solid, and like
there's social and environmental factors that are informing it, and I guess the drug is kind of just because you're more sensitive to things, it's just drawing those feelings out more, right? I guess that's the idea.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of going cold turkey?
I've done that before. I've done that.
Did it suck? Was there ever a point where you were like,
actually that's the misconception. It's like it's hard to make good healthy choices, but it rocks to do that. It feels great. Like it if you can get yourself to commit to something, you feel awesome. So it's like it doesn't suck to quit weed. Right. It's sick. You have really intense dreams. I've had really intense dreams for like the past 4 fucking months. Like I've
Are you saying because of weed?
Well, that's the thing. Weed's supposed to black out whatever REM sleep you get that causes dreams. Like you don't get REM sleep, but I still dream off weed.
Me too.
And fucking, I've just in general been having a lot of dreams.
Yeah.
A blast.
Yeah, a blast in my dreams.
I guess I should have dreams. I just fucking chug NyQuil to sleep. So
I should do that. I should take a Xanax.
My dreams are almost always dark.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like dimly lit or just like dark thematically?
No. Do you mean like existential dark or like Tim Burton dark, where it's like not that
neither
crazy?
Like creatively dark?
Neither. I mean like
oh, you're about to describe some wild.
Well, just life and death and violence and stuff like that. I wake up a lot of the time like in a panic, like someone's like breaking into my apartment.
Shit.
Wow. Like that kind of shit. I think it could be complex PTSD from different things, but
damn, dog.
not to go there, but I don't smoke or do anything, and like that's why when you said unpack it, like that's an interesting conversation to me, because people are always asking me why, and like especially when I talk about like my mental health issues and like struggles, but literally the shit that y'all are complaining about is the shit that I fear about if I did shit like that.
Right.
And I have trauma also, in my family with addicts and like mental health disorders and stuff like that. That makes me like, if I tap into any of that shit for a second, I would probably lose everything. I would completely lose my mind, I feel like.
Right.
But yeah, that's why I try and like, I want to find clarity.
I've recently been like, I'm such a like all or nothing person for some reason. My mom's the same way.
I am also. I'm that way.
I'm that way too.
And it's like,
I'm also that way. Yeah.
So you're that way
I
too.
think that is objectively true for everybody.
Whatever way you guys said, I'm that way.
and it's like, yeah, like you kind of like to do everything all at once with the healthy choice. You're like, well, I can't do that if I'm not doing that and shit.
Right.
But I feel like as I grow older, these become better choices to make just all the time, easier choices to make all the time. And I've definitely had like it's pretty funny. I was on the phone with like basically an uncle of mine, and
he has very funny uncles.
Basically an uncle of mine, and
basically
like we're not related. He's my dad's
homie,
old friend, and he was like my confirmation sponsor in 8th grade. Anyways, I was on the phone with him, and this was like before edibles had ever really worked for me in any like, whoa, I'm on edibles sense. And Trish had just gotten back from tour, and I ate like 4 Delta 8 gummies. And then like I was on the phone with him, and I forgot that I took them. Like I forgot.
You took 4?
4 because they don't edibles have like usually never done anything to me for some reason.
But they did.
But I was on the phone. I just felt this wave of panic, and I was like, I gotta call you back. And like I just sat on the bed.
I gotta call you back.
Yeah.
Drops the phone.
Wine glass. Shit. And I went in bed, and I was just like, wow. And I had like many inventory like thoughts.
Going to bed is probably the worst thing.
In the daytime, I was just sitting in bed. I wasn't going to sleep, but
like,
I was just trying to chill.
Like getting moving around, like.
Yeah, that's true. I probably should have done that.
Yeah.
Because it was freaking me out how still I was.
With anxiety.
I could just feel my whole body. Yeah.
Anxiety, because you're just letting that, because it's like energy too, so you're just letting it all just root, like build and like stew in.
How do you break it? Exercise?
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, movement.
I mean, I know if I don't do that every day, my mind starts, the spin starts.
You mean exercise every day?
If I can't get up and move,
me too.
The spin starts. It's almost you start. First, it's the physical like stinging sensations, and then it's like you start having extremely irrational thoughts.
Yeah,
like that's a big one.
Right. Yeah, but
that's
out of panic.
Out of panic. Yeah, exactly.
It's specifically out of panic, and you start you're like neurotic. You start like fixating on the smallest thing. I mean, that's particular to me, but like I don't know if
I agree.
that's other people, but I have to like diet is also like a huge thing. Like I noticed changes when I started like intermittent fasting, and then also doing that, and then also minimizing carbs. Minimizing carbs is like another thing where I felt, I mean, it could be, I'm just imagining it, but I think like a mix of all these different things, like it helps
that is okay. Now that you say that, because I've been maximizing carbs recently, and I did notice my brain was bad.
Yeah.
See that the way I've been trying to think of it, and like it's always like a kind of a struggle. Like I'll do stuff in moderation sometimes, and whatever other times, and I try to think of it almost like, but what if I like did all this shit daily and like actually committed to all this shit that you can fit in a day, like maybe stretching, working out, going outside, meditating, whatever, and diet, and just covering those. Imagine how clear my mind would be.
Right.
Like imagine how fucking more useful I would be.
And it also all those things literally take probably like an hour and a half to get them all done.
Right.
Yeah.
And like not being up late the night before, basically. It's like
an hour and a
4
half
or 5
or 2
things that could if done daily.
Even doing I did hard 75, but like a fucking supplemented version of it. Like
what is that?
You go 75 days, like no alcohol, no cheat meals. You work out twice a day, read 10 pages of a book.
Whoa.
I noticed he
Why
said
is
whoa
that
to
part?
10 pages
I
of a
forget
book.
what else, but it's definitely challenging.
All this shit at once.
It's
I'm like,
it's
damn,
challenging, but
It's good in a little bit. This way.
it's definitely challenging, but I did it for the 75 days. Like I worked out twice every day, no alcohol, no. I did cheat meals, so I didn't fully fucking,
Right.
It's still very hard.
But I mean, I feel way better, honestly.
Yeah.
And knowing like we live by like a recreational center, like where I live, and there's like a gym, and like I think the analogy was like as a kid, you like school sucks, like but you still go to school and it's like your routine. I think now using the gym as the routine, like just going there and knowing that I have to do that every day, like that's been really helpful with
that's walking for me.
Yeah.
Walking some miles every day.
Yeah. I started skating.
It's awesome.
And I noticed that that's also, I listen to music, so that's the closest I can get, I feel, to true meditation, because when I'm walking and I'm listening to music, I'm just, that's all I'm thinking about. I'm just feeling the music, and my mind doesn't even wander
really
or drift.
good, actually. Like, that you have that ability to lock into it like that.
Yeah.
Music is like probably the only thing that can do that to me consistently. The sensations I feel when I hear music is, especially if it's good music. If I'm in a space with a lot of people I'm one of those people, if a song comes on that I really love, I can't continue the conversation. It's like someone's trying to talk to me and everyone is interrupting. Like what's being said.
That's a great way to put it.
I'm a little bit like that if I'm in the car playing music I like.
Me too.
Like I'm like, just what's
right. The bridge is coming up. Excuse me. The bridge is coming.
Right.
This part. Avatar 2. I wonder if any of the things we've been talking about maybe perchance will be represented in that film. Maybe.
I don't think it's gonna be a Princess Mononoke.
James Cameron's been wearing someone posted he's been wearing motorcycle racing long sleeves.
Oh my god!
In every video, and he's just got that.
Him and
Kanye,
Michael Bay,
him and Kanye are hanging out. I've been hanging with James Cameron. My style be rubbing off on him. James Cameron stole my style. I came up with the plot for Avatar 2. I wrote the screenplay for Avatar 2. Warhol, Nike, Walt Disney, Google,
Cameron, Kanye,
right?
Steve Jobs,
right? He's actually hyped for Avatar 2, right?
You are?
Or are you? No, I pointed at you. Or are you being satirical? When
I
you
want to see. I want to see it.
I'm actually quite hyped for it, and I'll tell you why. It's
quite hype for this fire movie.
It looks fire.
It's just like, listen, 09. We haven't had we
haven't had Avatar since then.
Oh my god.
Since then, and it's like what I'm realizing is I was saying today that even that Man of Steel movie is good by modern standards, and it's like the bar's just plummeting, and our trash from the past, we're appreciating it more. And so Avatar is actually pretty good by modern standards. Actually, damn, this is an epic, a lot of fucking effort was put into.
You probably just gotta lean out of that shot. I think. Oh shit! But
was put into making this fucking thing and pushing things forward. Whereas other shit doesn't.
You don't have to do a whole.
Get close. Get close to the con.
Just get comfy.
Just get comfy.
But
sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying it's nostalgic, and it could be very good by modern standards because the standards have dropped so much in those 13 years.
The bar is under the ground.
Yeah.
So the bar could technically be above the ground.
Yeah,
you get what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like we saw
the effort he probably put into the special effects of this film.
Oh yeah,
is probably a lot more than.
I feel like it's diminishing returns with that shit. I feel like we've already crossed a certain
threshold.
Avatar,
XR stage shit that is interesting, and that I think
what's that
invites. It's like what they shoot the Mandalorian on.
Where it's the back projection.
Mandalorian is shot on a stage, but they have they create 3D assets and scans, and they layer it on the stage, so people are just on this. It's like a sound stage almost, but with the I don't know what kind of
I mean, they do that with the Marvel.
It's like
Marvel movies.
they did that with Batman too. They had
no,
like,
it's different than blue screen because you're for lighting
real light.
purposes. Yeah, it's real lighting. So you're standing in an environment that is being
Projected.
not projected per se, but it's back. Yeah.
rear
like a
projection.
hologram?
It's called rear projection. It's just like an old.
No, there's
technique from the back.
screens. Yeah.
Yeah, they used to do that in movies all the time, but now they're doing it again.
The talkies.
Remember when the talkies came
You
out?
fellas
That was
talk
fire.
about Pepper's Ghost?
What?
Is that the talkies flavor?
No, Pepper's Ghost is the technique they use to like do the holograms in like Haunted Mansion at Disney.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay.
Pepper's Ghost.
Who
Yeah,
came up with
Disney's-
that fucking name?
I don't know.
Some sick fuck.
I call it the Pepper's Ghost. Look at this
You
That's
would be
the guy.
an
That was really
amazing,
good.
an amazing like Disney ride character. I mean, an actor in general, but also you did that well. You
We
know,
called it Pepper's
really good.
Ghost.
yeah.
It's like the Pepperidge Farm dude.
I can act like the animatronics too.
Wow, that was really good.
Yo.
Thanks, man. You making me feel good there today.
That was
you making
hilarious.
Me feel good.
You remember all that unfinished business you had? Well, Pepper's Ghost remembers.
Ghost was there. Yeah, dude. Anyways,
That's related to making up word shit too, like coming up with dumbass names
Yeah.
for things. Like
oh, another character was Ronald Bone, and that's that's
this is some Tim and Eric shit.
Peter
loading,
Dinklage
too.
from. He's in one of the X-Men movies, and he's wearing like an old '70s red suit and like a helmet of hair, and he's got like this big mustache and huge glasses, and he's just like walking around looking like this. All the time. He's like, and he's in this X-Men movie. And he looks like his name is Ronald Bone. That's the point.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage.
Was he in,
Peter
like,
Dinklage is already a funny ass name.
Was he in like First Class?
He was the maybe Apocalypse.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Maybe Apocalypse.
Okay. Maybe
Apostolus.
maybe a chrysalis.
Chrysalis.
Yo, have you met Josh Peck yet?
Dude,
You haven't?
I haven't met him. Actually,
I'm like, yo.
I passed him on the street in a car, and he recognized me through the car window.
Really?
But
You might want to give context for people who don't know, like, because one of your
I used to do the lisp, but I actually
just
always,
like Josh Peck though, like specifically like his
right,
lisp,
like making fun of him, like for sure. But I actually did that.
Oh my god,
I did that.
He's like, just to be clear,
No, actually, I fucking feel really bad about making fun of him. But
you're growing, you're evolving,
yeah.
I'm
Socially
evolving. I've
right.
definitely looked back and been like, wow, that's fucked up. But yeah, I would talk. I did that as a kid though, so it wasn't 100% his.
Yeah.
No, there was
what that's from.
No, yeah, you
But I would
didn't.
always- I
your
always
shit
saw-
wasn't just like it wasn't like just some speech impediment shit. You would do this.
It's a character, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you would
Jeez.
like Bussalo.
Chussalo?
Yeah, which I had never heard before, like pronouncing things in
Bussalo
that way.
sauce?
Bussalo sauce. Yeah,
I know.
I
it's
felt
so
like all
silly.
those. I felt all those years of you doing that. You had to have met Josh Peck,
Right.
Like,
I haven't met him yet. I think.
And I feel like it would have been love because he.
I know,
He
I
was
would-
huge on Vine.
I
like,
would totally.
Oh,
like,
he was so dude. You know what's funny? I saw Marcus Johns in an elevator after a wedding.
Oh my God, he's like
Wow.
a born again Christian type deal, right?
Isn't
Like
he?
he's-
Yeah, on Vine. He
think
was
a
like the
lot
first
of-
guy to get a mill on Vine. Remember him?
Really?
The guy who was like sauces. You know what I'm talking
we didn't
about?
need that, Connor. I know exactly who you're talking about.
No, hey.
Maybe I just
I thought
don't
it was
care. Was his
Jerome
big
Charest.
No,
I didn't know
maybe
what you were
I
talking
just
about.
don't care was his big one. He would just obnoxiously yell, "Maybe I just don't care." You know who I'm talking
Lord,
about?
man.
I don't.
No, I just
Oh,
remember
okay.
the
I don't know.
sauces.
I would
That's
remember if
good.
I saw
You're better off for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But he did say it like that.
sauces.
Yeah.
I'm also
He would
just
scream it.
realizing I met Josh Peck once.
Really?
Yeah. We had like an audition in the it wasn't together and it wasn't like an extended meeting or anything like that. And I think
It's like
meet
I
honestly
also
meet is
met
a
Josh
meet is a meet is a generous term. We just had the same audition and we like locked eyes on the way as he was leaving. And it was just like
You said, "I loved Snow Day."
I was just like
I
Drake
saw
and
that in
Josh.
theaters too, I
Drake and
think.
Josh, it was just Josh to me.
Megan.
I'm only worried about Josh.
That's my
Game Sphere.
Game
Sphere. Yep.
Dude, what was it like?
Huh?
What was you asking me? You're like, what was the game Sphere? Right. Was it as cool as we all thought it was?
Right.
Did you play it?
Was it really that spherical?
Isn't that crazy? We had like a SNL cast of like 15-year-olds growing up with all that.
They killed it,
right?
And then they turned into a bunch of different huge motherfuckers
Yeah.
off of that.
I weep.
Not all of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess not
Only
really,
an
actually,
extreme
any of them.
minority of them went on.
Amanda Bynes went crazy.
I weep for Amanda Bynes every day.
Yeah.
She's
saw her one
dope
time.
though. That the
She was always funny.
I feel
Amanda's
like
show ruled, actually.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Amanda.
I like
Lobsters. Dancing
Good
lobsters.
Burger.
Bring out the dancing lobsters. Yeah.
Good burger, man.
whoa.
I saw that.
Totally.
I'm a dude. You're a dude. We're all dudes. Yeah.
That movie is awesome.
And he's always like, and his like hair is swinging.
He's such a
Yeah.
good model for like just positivity.
Yeah.
Blind positivity.
I didn't know that.
I remember that when I saw that movie in theaters and it was sold out. But they
Whoa.
it was Good Burger. Good Burger was sold out.
Good Burger is
and they let us.
I believe
they let
it,
us
bro.
come in
What
and
year is this? 97, 98?
something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Whoa.
But
Had to be.
it was
That's
so,
like we're 4, 3. I'm like
Yeah.
earliest memories are coming in.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm also a little older.
Yeah, you're a little older. That's why I
Yeah.
said I got a
How old are
flash.
you?
Yeah.
If it was 97, I was 4.
Okay.
I would have been 5 or 6.
Are we the same age?
I was 94. I'm 27.
Oh, okay.
I'm 94 as well.
Nice.
Okay.
Epic sauce.
I thought we were the
Sauce.
same age for some reason. I thought with both of y'all, I thought we were the same age. I'm
I-
29.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm 30, so I'm not that much older than you.
I'm
But,
47.
but yeah, it was sold out. They let us walk in the theater and sit on the floor, like right in front of the front row.
Ah, that's
So I just
cool.
watched Good Burger like this.
Oh my god. That's such a core memory. Seeing
Yeah.
Good Burger in theaters on the floor.
Right.
Seriously.
That
That's
definitely had to have felt special.
It felt so like that's one of my favorite memories I think in my whole
Yeah.
life.
It's a great movie too.
Yeah.
No,
Like-
but Keenan and Kel was so.
Oh, fuck.
that was so
Yeah,
special.
epic.
Like,
Yeah.
They just don't make shit like that anymore.
No.
With soul,
I'm
it
saying.
has like
you
a
sound
heart.
like a fucking boomer, Nick. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Yo.
There's just like this unexplainable.
They just don't make them like that anymore.
Right.
You remember Keenan and Kel?
That's orange soda.
Had me laughing my ass off.
The
And
world's gonna be like in ruins by the time we're that old.
Oh, come on. Just
Man.
don't say that.
Oh,
We're going to change the
man.
world.
we're gonna change it.
We going to
Oh.
try.
My fault.
We going to try.
I used a fake name as a writing credit on a show
really?
that I worked for recently. And
Kel Mitchell.
That's what your name was?
huh?
Your fake
Orange-
name?
orange soda?
No, it was even worse. It was Keenan A. Kel.
I like that.
The A is for and, by the way.
That makes
I
sense.
like that. That's
Yeah,
dope.
Yeah.
That's
So
dope.
if you look that up on I won't say what show it's for because you'll find it if you look it up. But yeah,
It's time for
That's-
Keenan and Kel.
registered on the
You think that was like first take? Like he just went in the studio and it was like heard the instrumental.
Coolio.
What a crazy
And he just went and he went.
intro video.
I got it. It's time for Keenan and Kel.
Probably.
I want to know whose idea it was.
little kids, I got a story to tell.
Who in the pedophile Nickelodeon offices came up with that idea?
Whoever
You know,
came,
but have you gone down
whoever
that? Have you gone down that rabbit hole?
I know about.
There are.
Like-
There's a fucking. It's like a syndicate, a cabal, still employed by Nickelodeon right
Yeah.
now of pedophiles.
yeah.
It's crazy. People mostly talk about what's his name,
Dan
Dan
Schneider.
Dan Snyder, and his like the foot fetish and like all the
Yeah.
weird shit he would write in.
Ah.
But it's literally more than him. It's like a roster of pedophiles there.
Yeah.
Truly.
That's, if anything, we're talking about like, that's like a dark overcast.
Who
over
owns
the-
is that Viacom?
I think it's Viacom.
Viacom, yeah.
And who owns Viacom?
They just merged with CBS, so whoever owns.
Oh yeah, CBS Viacom
yeah.
too.
Who owns CBS?
That was a recent merger that happened.
Who owns
it
the
all
owners?
comes back to Rupert Murdoch. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
The web goes deep.
Damn dog. Damn dog.
The interesting thing though is like we do feel that nostalgia thing of like, yeah, they don't make shit like that anymore, and like, but the interesting thing is to see like younger generations having nostalgia over all of these different eras of the past. It's not even just like, you know, when we were kids, I feel like it was like we would have this weird nostalgia over the 80s type shit. But you'll find like Zoomers who are obsessed with the early 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, the 40s. I'm thinking about Parkenstein on TikTok. Like, you know, Parkenstein?
I love him.
Hello, everybody.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, it's like he came out of a time machine. But like,
amazing.
Right.
I feel like that has to be the World Wide Web, like social media, the internet. Because it's exposed so many more people to so many different things.
Yeah.
You're finding just more
built
people.
like a Tesla coil in his yard.
Yeah.
He's like genius. And then he plays his ragtime.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that dude. I want to meet him so bad.
Right.
You know, Zach is obsessed with him. Zach Fox is obsessed with Parkenstein.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He shared his he had a GoFundMe or something for one of his science projects, and Zach shared it in his story.
It's awesome.
I was just like, that clash of worlds is so insane.
Right.
So wild. Where are we at on time?
I don't know, but I'm hungry.
I feel you.
I'm getting that sense everyone's kind of just
I
like
think
starving.
we're close to.
Everyone's like,
Getting there.
Oh, I will find that video and send it to you all. Make sure you see it of the guy I was talking about.
Which guy? Oh, the Navy SEAL guy?
Yo, let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Oh, him.
Got your mayo on a roll.
Yeah. He says it like it's AI generated.
Yeah. This is the most normal thing you can do in New York. Yo, let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup, mayo on a roll. He's wearing like a Celtics jersey with no undershirt, and he's just like...
I like to think he's talking to Dr. Octopus.
That's
like,
so funny.
On a roll.
Hey, yo, Octavius, let me get a sausage, egg, and cheese.
Do we want to do a clap?
I think we got to do
I was
a clap.
about to say it's a good idea.
It's a good time.
We time out a clap at the end.
Yeah.
Yo, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
having
being
me
here.
Thank you so much for being here,
It was
man.
great talking to you guys.
This was
It was
amazing.
a special conversation, I feel like.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was epic.
Sauce.
Josh.
All right, that's a wrap on y'all.
And we're done.
And scene. All right,
So,
participate in a
It's not on the 3, it's after the 3.
It's after the 3. So think 4. But I'm going to count to 3. Once I get past 3, you're on your own. I'm making sure you can
He
handle
makes
that.
music, man. He has rhythm.
I don't know, man. And I don't. We just met.
We'll just try it. How about
Okay. All right. 1, 2, and I fuck it up.
Yo, 1, 2, 3.
1. Fuck. All right. 1, 2, 3.